Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mad Gamer in the building. You are watching the NBA Live Alert live stream, and we are vibing out with the one. It's called The One, and it's our rookie year. Without spoiling the story, I got drafted to the Knicks. Well, actually, I demanded to be traded to the Knicks, and it's looking good. We're in the playoffs, guys. I know. How can Knicks make it into the playoffs right now? Well, they got me, Rookie of the Year. Hopefully, most likely, I'm gonna win that award. We just finished our first game in the playoffs ever. I would say I averaged a triple-double, which I did. For a rookie, that's big things, man. Big things. So, for the series, there are some challenges and goals for each game, and we're going to take a quick look at the next game 2 with the Chicago Bulls in the first round of the playoffs. What do I have to do here? And it says make field goals. I have to score 21 points, hit 4 free throws, and make 2 3-pointers for next game. Well, in total. But those are some of the challenges for this series. I think they're easy to do. We continue here. We go right ahead into game 2 and see what happens. I do think that I have the chances to win the title now because my coach isn't benching me right away. I'm getting 30 minutes a game, and that gives my team a chance to get a lead, so that way when I'm not in the game, we still can have that win, most likely. So it's been going really good. I had an amazing season. Almost didn't make it into the playoffs, and our last season of the game decided if we could, and we did. And then now we're sitting here in our second game of the first round in the NBA playoffs. So let's go. Enjoy. Should be fun.
Hello again, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Along with Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Green on hand. All right, as this game gets underway, what's the key to success for New York here tonight?
Your #1 objective with Wade is take away his easy basket. You've got to get back in transition. Hey, we've seen all the lobs that he gets thrown from half court and beyond. This guy's an amazing athlete. We've seen the drives and the attacking dunks. So you've got to get back and eliminate his easy baskets and layups and try to keep him off the free throw line. Yeah, he's an improved jump shooter, but what would you rather take away? His jump shot or his layup game? I say it's all about taking away his layups.
Screen set nicely into the paint.
Good block, good block.
Whistle sounds out of bounds, so it'll be Bulls ball. And here's the replay with another look at that tremendous play. The Bulls get the inbound in here. Nine left on the shot clock. There's the pick. Terrific block by Porzingis.
Hey, if you want to be a great defensive team, you have to have shot blocking to protect your goal. Another great shot block right there due to his timing and effort.
Mirotic. Lopez is looking to operate from down low. Wade on the drive. Reverses. And New York's called for the foul. Their first team foul. All right, getting ready now for the first.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. The breaking news is Melo got traded.
Didn't have his feet set.
Melo got traded to the Oklahoma City Thunders. And in my opinion, in my humble opinion, the Oklahoma City Thunder have the best 3 stars in the NBA.
Convert on both free throws.
you want to go down the list and talk about Golden State. Golden State has Stephen Curry and Durant, and the rest of the guys are really great players, but I wouldn't put them in the caliber of a Carmelo or Paul George or Westbrook. Then you go into Cleveland, you got LeBron James, and then you got LeBron James. Kevin Love is decent, but I wouldn't compare him to Melo or George or Westbrook. Then you got Isaiah Thomas, who's a great player, but I wouldn't compare him to Westbrook or any of those guys. So, oh man, I got fouled, bro. So, Cleveland's out of the category. Golden State's out of the category. The two best teams in the NBA, right? At least that's what we say. So, who else is the big three? What are the big three can compete as far as if you're going to put the names out there? Now, does that mean that they have the best teams? No, this isn't an argument about best teams. This is an argument about the simple fact of three of the best players together. The big three, right? That's what they call it. So for me, the big three, the biggest three in the NBA, and I know it's going to be argumental. People ain't going to feel me. And right now we're getting beat because I'm looking into the chat. People ain't going to feel me on that, but that's just my opinion. I think Paul George is a superstar. Carmelo's still a superstar, even though he hasn't been winning lately. And Westbrook, we ain't even got to talk if he's a superstar. We already know that. So you look at all those categories, those factors, and then you're looking at three of the best in the NBA at the moment together. So, you know, argument of who's better, you know, or this or that. It's a good argument. I want to hear people's opinion. Who's the best big three? Who has the best big three in their team? Not the best team. Of course, Golden State is still the powerhouse. Cavaliers have a decent team. I would even go with Boston over Cavaliers this year. But I'm just throwing up bad shots, yo. I need to stop. But you know, let me hear the debate here. Who has the best big three? Is it Westbrook, Paul George, or Paul George and Melo? Or is it Cavaliers, Golden State? You got to look at it.
Levine's trying to get free off the pick. Wide open for three.
Man, I'm getting done up right now.
He's averaging 15 points per game this season.
You give this man time to set his feet, he's going to knock the three-point in time and time again.
So we're going to start setting up defense, offense. Get some plays. I know we can still win this game. I haven't been paying attention, but I'm going to start to. So as I was saying, you know, the argument, I want to know. Oh.
That was one brutal screen and no whistle at all.
This is Jeff Hornacek and Mike Green. Green. I'm sorry, Mike Green. Say his name correctly.
The comeback kid has been able to accomplish some impressive feats this season, especially when you consider the pressure that's being put on today's rookies. These young men constantly being asked to deliver and perform amid all this attention.
So yeah, the argument of who's the best big three, man, that's what I want to start up today. Who has the best big three? Not who has the best big team. Best teams. Yep, it's Jeff Hornacek and Mike Green. Two of the best commentators. I love these guys together when I watch NBA games.
But also the pressure to be perfect is unreal.
But oh wow, you donated. I appreciate you, G200.
Into the front court, desperate for some points. Curls in.
Man, I'm getting disrespected and disconnected right now. I've been on Twitch for 2 years, streaming all the time, every day. Everything I ever play, I literally stream it. kind of one of those guys who almost everything. There'll be some times where I won't do so, but most of the time I definitely do.
Defense doesn't react. They give up the easy basket after
Golden State is the best probably team if you want to argue that. If we're arguing teams, but we're not arguing teams here. We're arguing the best big three, and Golden State has what? Durant and Curry, right? Durant and Curry. But who else you got that you can put in the category of, you know, Westbrook, Paul George, and Melo? Oh man, I'm having a really bad game right now. So I mean, if you want to argue the best big three, you got to give me the third person in the Golden State Warriors that you consider actually good team, good player, better than those two.
Mass substitutions as both teams mix it up.
Klay Thompson. See, this is the deal. Like, Klay Thompson is a great player. I love Klay Thompson. I think he's actually, I like Klay Thompson. I've been telling people this for years. I like Klay Thompson over Stephon Curry. I know that's like, oh, you're crazy, bro. But I always said I like Klay Thompson better. I feel like 5 years from now, Klay Thompson's still going to be the better player. He's still going to be stable, and Curry's going to have, you know, some injuries or something. Sadly, that's how I feel. But I wouldn't consider him a superstar. Klay Thompson isn't a superstar compared to Melo and Paul George. You really think you can put Klay Thompson next to that category of Paul George and Melo or Westbrook? I mean, he's not in that conversation. So this is where we got a debate. So for me, I don't know.
Terrific concentration.
You know, I don't know what y'all arguing here with Klay Thompson being a category in the big three. Is he a beast? Is he a great player? Yes. Do I want him? I've always said I would pick him over Curry, which I know sounds crazy, but that's just my opinion. And you know, everybody has their own opinion.
This is the free throw. The kid's playing with a spotlight on him that's larger than most this season. Ask any rookie, they'll tell you they have a lot to prove at the professional level, but it's clearly different.
So yeah, so where's the argument of, you know, Klay? What is the argument of how good is he compared to Paul George or Carmelo Anthony or Westbrook? You know, you can't put him in a Paul George or Carmelo because they've been carrying their teams for years. They've been on their back, literally to the point where Paul George broke his damn leg. That's how much he carried his team. That's why he broke his leg, man. He was carrying his team so much. No, but seriously, there's gotta be a team that can be in the debate. If you put what would I say, Cleveland, you know, that would be nice. But Isaiah Thomas, you know, even though he was one of the best players in the playoffs last year, I couldn't keep him in that category, you know.
11 seconds now on the shot clock.
I don't know. It's a good debate.
He rattles it in.
It looks simple, but it's hard to execute. Nothing more.
But it's still early. All the teams made their trades. You know, Wolves are looking good. Nice young team. I like Philly right now. They got a nice core of young guys. I mean, you got a lot of good teams. But my debate is questioning what is the big three. Who is the biggest three in the NBA?
That's good defense, better offense.
And I know it sounds crazy, man, but trust me, Oklahoma has the biggest three. The problem is they ain't got no bench. So they can't compete with a Golden State. They can't compete with Cavs, Boston, or anybody that's going to be big time this year. They have to find some type of bench and just hopefully, you know, this new team can attract players.
Second
Oh,
pass.
disrespectful.
Terrific rejection. Out of bounds. It'll be Bulls
Let's
ball.
just watch that replay for a second so y'all can see what just happened. If y'all want to argue Golden State, like I said, give me the third player that is the best player. Look at this. Bomb right in my face, man. Bomb. Bomb. Poor me. Alright, Draymond Green. Considering Draymond Green in the category of Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, or Westbrook. Do you consider that? Like, let's look at the factors. First of all, he's actually one of my favorite players on the Golden State because his defense, he's one of the best defenders in the NBA without a shadow of doubt. There's no question there. And he's the foundation and the backbone for this team. By the way, y'all, I'm going to have to go ahead and do something real quick. I'm going to have to restart this debate and this conversation and this game because clearly you guys got me busy over here with everything I'm doing. I'm just checking my messages before we get started. So yeah, so the argument of Green of being a better player than Melo is not a factor. I think in the end of the day, you know, he really is a great player, and he's one of the big reasons Golden State's won championships and everything. Nobody's denying him at all. I just think he can't do what Melo does, and he can't carry a team on his back. He can't do it on his own. You know, you're trying to argue like a Dennis Rodman. You know, he's like a Dennis Rodman to the Bulls. You know, he can't carry the team on his own. If you take away Stephon Curry and Durant and you give the team to Draymond Green, they won't win too much. But if you put Carmelo in there, they will have a good, decent team. You know what I mean? Like, all right, I'll explain it like this. Golden State has legitimate the bench. You know, their bench is better than starters in the NBA. Like a lot of teams in the NBA suck compared to Golden State's bench. So if you want to argue, you know, like these teams have powerhouse teams. New York Knicks don't have and haven't had any good winning rosters in forever. You know, in 2013 we were second in the East with a mediocre team, and Melo was leading the charge. You know what I mean? And so it's interesting. It's complicated and interesting to try to debate that. Is Draymond Green better than Melo? That is never gonna happen. That is not. Okay, Melo might get old and all that good stuff, but in the end of the day, he's been a superstar his whole career, pretty much. So it's like, all right, well, I just don't see Golden State having that other guy. And, you know, and that's the same thing with Michael Jordan and Pippen. All these other guys, some of these other guys end up Hall of Famers, you know, and they only Hall of Famers because they played with Jordan and Pippen. So it's the same thing with Curry and Durant and these guys carrying their teams, making every player better. And it's basically an amazing thing, to say the least. But you can't categorize them as the superstars. You're talking about three superstars that can carry their teams. Westbrook, we already know, the triple-double king. Paul George carrying the Pacers, who weren't ever really good without him. Like, the moment Paul George was gone, their team fell apart. It was trash. And you've seen the reality of that. And then you go into...
Gets in the paint. Quick decision and gets rid of it. Lee's looking for the screen to get
So that's where, you know, you get into that debate. It's like, okay, well, Paul was actually the only reason Pacers were good. Then you go with Carmelo, who carried Nuggets for 8 years, came to New York, helped them get into the playoffs again after like a 13-year drought. They made it to the playoffs. And then you go, Melo just had bad teams. He had a mediocre team with a broken down team and still made it to the playoffs, and they were like number 2 in the East. 2012 season or whatever it was. So, you know, I don't know, man. I just want to know what's the big. And you can't put you can't put the Warriors. I mean, I'm sorry, Timberwolves in that debate, regardless of how good they are. Timberwolves, I mean, they have a young core. I mean, name the big 3 there. I mean, you got, I can't lie, you do have Jimmy. Jimmy, to me, is an amazing player. He's very young and he still has a lot of growing to do, but he's actually a superstar, regardless of how you want to put it. He's proven he can carry the team, and he's done good in Chicago with a bad team. You know, and that's another guy that is like, oh, well, he never wins. He never won without, you know, these guys or whatever. Oh, come on. I'm doing really bad right now. But yeah, so I mean, what is the debate? Who's on the Wolves? You know, that sounds good, but it's mostly just young guys that are looking to make a name for themselves, looking to be those superstars. So with Melo and Paul George and Westbrook, they already had enough. You know what I mean? Like, they had enough stats. You know what I mean? They have had enough losses and failures to feel like, damn, I gotta win this. I can't take this no more. I'm not gonna lose no more. I'm gonna make this work. And they have enough experience to be able to win, and they've carried enough of their teams individually to figure out how to win together. So that's a good debate, good conversation to have. But that's my team. That's what I tweeted out a couple minutes ago. The biggest team in the
second chance opportunities from a free throw line situation.
The biggest team in the whole NBA when it comes to big 3. Now, do they have the best team? No. I'm not going to argue that OKC has the best team. I'm a New Yorker and I'm a Knicks fan, so as you can tell, you know, I don't want to talk about how bitter I am. I lost my favorite player. You know, the thing with Melo, I'll explain it like this. You know, I'm from New York, so when he was at Syracuse and all that, it meant a lot to me. And I'm like, oh, this guy is pretty dope. And I watched Nuggets for 8 years. Even though I'm a Knicks fan, I watched Nuggets for 8 years. Staying up at 10:30, the game started, ends at like 12. You know what I mean? Like 12, 1 o'clock. I would be up all night watching these games from Melo. And then some miracle happened where he ended up as a New York Knick. And that was the most unbelievable experience for me, to have my favorite player on my favorite team, which is a rarity because Jordan was my favorite player, Kobe was my favorite player. Those 2 guys were my favorite player at those times. And it's crazy, man. But yeah, so we'll see.
Well, I think in this way,
we'll see what can happen. I think the key, you know, like the thing that people don't know, I always call LeBron James the greatest general manager in the last 10 years. I wouldn't say he's the greatest player at all. I wouldn't argue that. I know people would. Let's not get into that debate. But I would definitely put him in the great general manager. And the reason why is because anytime he goes somewhere, he knows how to attract other players. He recruits them, and they all come over. So, for example, Oklahoma City Thunder didn't have a lot of players wanting to come over, but Paul George went, now Carmelo went, and hopefully that causes a chain reaction of players all deciding, let's help out Oklahoma. You know, these bench guys, the bench guys are the key. Because once you sit your starters, all you got is bench. So who can Oklahoma put in their team to help Melo, Paul George, and Westbrook when they get tired? Who's going to be that guy? So that's where, you know, the conversation gets interesting on how is it going to happen. Yes, Melo went to Oklahoma City Thunder. This isn't a make-believe conversation. I'm legitimately telling you about the trade that just happened an hour ago. And I'm devastated as a Knicks fan. But, you know, Melo deserved to be happy, man. I don't care about anything else. I'm not going to be selfish and say let him stay in the Knicks forever till he die. You know, go do you, go win, man. Go find happiness. Play with an organization that's going to take care of you and give you a chance to win. And it's about damn time, to say the least. Hopefully he'll have his happiness and success there. So it's all about much
better than that from an offensive finishing point of view against quality NBA defense.
So now Knicks are stuck with a bad contract and a bad couple players, but it's not going to be forever. And hopefully we can make some differences in our overall.
Offensive basketball to shoot it and not even notice.
Come on, ref.
Contesting the shot.
He rattles it in.
You know, hopefully we can make it into the playoffs this year with our young core and just kind of get into it. I don't know. I don't want to be a lottery team again, man. You know what it's like, bro, playing for the NBA League Pass to watch your team always lose. You're paying $300+ for this thing, and then you're paying to watch a losing team. You know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, I get to see other teams play, but I'm there to watch the Knicks, man. 82 games you have to suffer. And then I go to games, pay $1,000-some to sit up in the front row and suffer at these horrendous games.
In the NBA, and you see how well
so you know
done,
it's complicated.
You might be willing to take more of a chance on the other hype brother, even though maybe he's
but
not
either way,
quite as
you know,
gifted.
the Knicks will
Why
be
not
interesting
have
this year.
Nick
Porzingis
Howard,
is an
on
amazing
NBA
player.
roster?
He's
You're good enough for the
7'3",
you can make that jump.
dribbling like
I
a
think
point
he does
guard.
that.
I don't know if you ever got to see him play, guys. 7'3", little red-skinned Lithuanian player, young boy who's an amazing talent. He got the stroke. He can hit it from anywhere, but he just does athletic things. He does point guard things, and it's unreal, man. It's really unreal, to say the least, at how unreal it is. I'm still in shock, to be honest. So we got Cantor and we got Doug McGrugman or something like that, his name is, plus a draft pick for the future. So the trade doesn't get officialized until Monday. They got to call it into the office or whatever, but it's pretty much done. Once teams agree, there's hardly anything that can stop it unless it's one of those league stopping setups there. But I'm thinking it's gonna happen.
Secure the rebound, finish your defensive possession,
But of course there's no short shot. It's my hope that it does happen.
Get an easy opportunity, reward.
There's a steal.
Last pass to Melo before he gets traded. Oh, he missed. That's why he got traded. Nah. Melo's my favorite player, man. He's so unbelievable to watch. I watched Jordan when I was a kid. I watched Kobe when I was in my 20s or whatever. And then I watched Melo in my 30s. Well, before my 30s, but you know, late 20s, mid 30s. I'm in my mid 30s now.
A pretty entry pass. Bonafide flips it home on a
So anyway, so the Knicks got some core guys that can help defensively. It's not going to be that pretty because I don't consider Cantor a great defender, you know, but I think in an environment he can change and grow. I think that's what happens with players. They get comfortable in their teams and their systems, and they kind of just stick to what they're used to, and they don't do more. But you know, a new coach, a new system can demand more out of you, can make you practice harder, can help you realize that you're not going to be in the NBA forever. You better earn your stripes. So that's where Oklahoma, I'm going to be watching their games from now on because Melo's still my favorite player. While I'm a Knicks fan and I'm going to watch all my Knicks fans, I have to watch wherever Melo goes. That's my guy. So now Oklahoma suddenly, which Westbrook was one of my favorite players of all. I liked Westbrook more than Durant, and people thought I was crazy and like, oh, Westbrook's a knucklehead. And you know, I used to have arguments with my cousin. We would bet in the NBA, and he was like, oh man, Durant would win without Westbrook, man. Westbrook's messing up their season. And I'm like, no, he isn't, man. He's a great player. What are you talking about? But, you know, he would argue that because at the time we didn't have any evidence. You know, you can always argue who's better if they're separated and stuff, but to me it wasn't a debate.
Ball comes loose, and it's a turnover. To the rim, nice adjustment.
But yeah, so we'll see what happens with the Golden State Warriors. I mean, with the Oklahoma City Thunders. I mean, they had a good team already. Now they have a beast starting five, but the argument isn't about their starting five. The argument is about what else do they have. You know, it's like, okay, that's cute. You got the best big three, you know, names. Like you want to put the big three in a category. They have the best big three. But other than that, the bench probably isn't that great. So it's hard to defend the argument because they're not going to get anywhere with their big three. The biggest big three in the NBA, the best big three in the NBA, isn't going to do much. You know, we got to get a bench in Oklahoma for them to be successful. So, you know, I've been saying Westbrook for MVP for a while. Before this triple-double season last year, I think the year before that, I don't remember what year it was, that I was like, he's in the category, he should be there. No, but the NBA is a little weird with the way they vote. Some of it is popularity, a lot of it is popularity, and then sometimes they'll go off stats, and then they'll start arguing that it's the intangibles, but then all of a sudden, if it's the intangibles, why in the world are you going off stats and making it, oh well. So that's where, you know, like Westbrook winning with the team that is not really on the top of the NBA, you know, and I love that, and I personally think it should, the voting of the NBA, like MVP and all that, shouldn't always be about, oh well, you got the #1 team in the East, so you're the most popular too, so we're gonna go with you and you're gonna be the MVP. That's not fair to a lot of these great players. That was my fault, looking at my chat for a second. Yeah, as far as Westbrook re-signing, I don't know, man. I'm not an Oklahoma big timer. I was rooting for them to win last year. They were my dark horse win. I said, please let Oklahoma City Thunder win, because I just didn't want to see Golden State win again. I didn't want to see Spurs win because, no disrespect, but they beat my Knicks in 1999. Then I didn't want to see just basically a lot of these other teams, just because and you know, Westbrook went through it a lot, man, and he had a season where his so-called brother betrayed him.
All the talk about getting off to a good start, that's out the window right now.
You know, the Rockets definitely have a good team. I respect what they're doing over there. That is big time. They're a little scary, to be honest with you, but it's not a short shot. I mean, people don't realize that, oh, wow, I got fouled.
Ask any rookie, they'll tell you they have a lot to
when it
prove
comes
at the
to
professional level.
Rockets, I think people are falling asleep on the bigger
We're
factors.
so fortunate to have
Eric
in our production
Gordon.
meetings the
Eric Gordon
opportunity
is
to get
not
to know these young players, and no one
a,
has handled themselves
a sleeper
as well
guy. Like,
as
he's
the
actually,
comeback kid.
he was an all-star.
First free throw,
He was one of the premier players when he was healthy and everything was going right. Then after he got, injured, then he comes back and he's playing on mediocre teams. And people forget about Eric Gordon.
and he makes them both.
And they forget that he got a lot of skills. So it's a scary-ass team out in the Rockets. Again, I can't put Eric Gordon in the conversation of Paul George or Carmelo Anthony. So he's not a big three. But the Rockets have a solid team. Their bench is really good. I would argue their bench is better than Oklahoma City Thunder right now. And
It's not enough just to beat your man off
it's
the
gonna
dribble.
take a lot
You've gotta finish the
for the
play
Rockets to
with
even,
strength at the rim.
level up,
Shut
let's
down,
say, with their
forced to
bench
make the pass.
specifically, compared to Golden State and all these guys who have just amazing teams.
Lopez with his
Bench,
sixth rebound.
they have 1 through 12,
That's
1
become
through
a
15, man.
familiar sight.
1 through
Watching him
15.
grab
Woo!
rebound after rebound.
There go Melo
He's
putting in the
definitely
work for me,
putting in the
getting
work.
that block. You know he's getting traded. He just had to show up.
Kicks it out to the corner. Bonafide draws the double into the paint. 8 seconds now on the 24. On the run with the floater. Gets the 2. Lucky roll.
So yeah, it's complicated. It's hard.
We're seeing
The
a
West
lot of
is really
offensive
difficult.
energy
In the
on
East is a little more
floor.
easy. It looks like Boston's gonna take it this year.
Ball movement.
Cavaliers are always gonna be in the fight and they're gonna be in the argument and debate or whatever. But the reality is, Boston got better than Cavs. Boston is better than the Cavaliers, and I'll repeat it. Boston is better than the Cavaliers. Boston Celtics are better than the Cleveland Cavaliers. and that is without argument. You got Gordon Hayward, you got Al Horford, you got Smart, you got Morris, and you got Kyrie Irving. So that is an ingredient in its own. Some really superstar players, some really great bench players, and in the East, it's going to be hard for Cavaliers this year. The first time in a while, there's some really great teams built to beat the Cavs. Like Philly, when they get a little experience under their belt, they'll be able to compete against the Cavs. At this moment, they don't, and they don't have what it takes, but they're right around the corner, folks. Philly, these young core guys are doing their thing. So, I mean, it's hard, and that's just my opinion. I mean, of course, people are going to say Cavs. You can't count out the Cavs, who've won big time for so many years, as far as LeBron James being on their team. But at the end of the day, Boston is going to be right up there, number 1 or number 2 in the East, at minimum, number 2. And from the way that trade went, Boston won. Try to grab his rebound, man. Give me the ball.
Able to convert the free throw, and he completes the three-point play. In a rough stretch, let's see if they can break themselves out of it right now. Levine.
Damn it, I couldn't get the rebound.
Point blank range. Great rebounding on the offensive glass.
I'm just going to go for the dunk on this dude and one ref.
Throughout this first half with their scoring, and the opposition just doesn't look like they've got any idea of how to slow it down.
Yeah, I mean, Boston's going to be insane this year. I'm impressed. Kyrie was a genius. I feel like he's a genius. I don't know, all of a sudden I got like a newfound respect. I thought he was a great player. I said he's good. This guy's really good. But now he's a genius in my mind. He literally went to the Cavs, to Boston for nothing. and stood with a good team, the good core. He set himself up to be good. And it's going to be amazing. Let's watch this quick halftime show. I'm going to keep it quiet. I like watching this, and I like keeping quiet. Enjoy.
And I've got your EA Sports halftime report. The Knicks entered the locker room with a comfortable lead. It was their playmaking, the way they gave each other scoring opportunities. That really impresses me. I love seeing unselfish basketball like that. Have a look at the leading scores for the New York Knicks. The Bulls are in need of some changes at the half. They've got to break to figure some things out. And trust me, they've got a few things to figure out. Still, it's not like they're totally out of this game. Have a look at the leading scores for the Chicago Bulls.
Game track. Steals.
The Chicago Bulls are trailing so far, and that's mostly due to sloppy ball handling. The ball security needs to improve if they want to stay competitive in this matchup. The lack of ball control was apparent in the first quarter.
Player of the half.
The film speaks for itself. He's definitely the player of the half. Now he just got to give an encore to get his team to win. And we conclude this segment with the shot chart. Here we go with the top plays from the first half.
Number 2. Number 1.
Here's a chance to check out the playoff bracket. Mike and Jeff are ready to get started, so we send it back to...
And we're back at the United Center.
I'm back.
This is Mike Breen.
So yeah, man, I'm really hyped. Really hyped. You gotta understand, I'm a Carmelo fan until the death.
Exactly. When you shoot the
He's
ball that
won my
well,
support and loyalty. He's been an amazing player to watch throughout my NBA love
They're gonna have to do
and
something
life.
else other than shoot the ball well to finish this game off in the second half.
And as far as what is a better basketball game, man, you gotta understand something. I play quality, right? I play quality over hype. Like, I get it. You know, some games are overhyped and they're the most popular. And Call of Duty's, for example, you know, oh, let's play Call of Duty, man. And Call of Duty is a good game, but there's certain things it just doesn't pay attention to its fan base, you know, most of the time. And they keep the copy and paste system, and they just give you the same game with a little bit of wrinkles and some new paint on it. So that's something that I didn't appreciate with Call of Duty, and that's why I stopped playing it. It wasn't like it was a bad game anymore. It just didn't do anything new or innovative. Come on, man. But that said, you know, that new Call of Duty is definitely looking fire. I played it for the beta for a whole 2 weeks, and then ooh, that was a good shot, man. I love when I do that shot, man. That shot is what I do in real life because I'm short. When I play in these tournaments, these guys be forcing it. Let's go, baby. Push it down, push it down, push it down. Anger. So the point is that, you know, Call of Duty has a great system and a great game, but it always feels the exact same. I can pick up Call of Duty Modern Warfare that came out in 2005, and then I could play the most recent one that just came out, and it'll be the exact same game. And that's good, but then there's bad because it's like there's no innovation, nothing new, nothing that really is like, oh, this is amazing. so it just loses its touch. So when you're talking about basketball games, NBA Live always brings innovation to what they're doing, and they've always been the pioneers of basketball. The stick dribble, NBA Live created that. The direct pass, when you hold a button and then you can direct pass to somebody, NBA Live created that. Franchise mode, NBA Live created that. GM mode, NBA Live created that. Creative player, NBA Live created that. You go down the long list of things that NBA Live has done, and they always do. And you know, that's what I love about them. And then, you know, right now they came back with a quality game of gameplay wise. It's a lot of fun, feels really good, it flows good. I can really play this for hours, and I do play it. I've already had like 70 hours or more on this game, and I ain't gonna stop anytime soon. But the fact is, you know, you got the competitors who are very popular, and they're the biggest game as far as the competitors in basketball. So I mean, right now people will come on my stream and be like, hey man, you playing that? You playing the 2? You playing 2? I'm like, no. What the hell? Doesn't it say live on my thing? And it's cool, you get me, for people to, oh, I got disrespected. It's cool to be beyond that tip, but it's like, you know, popularity is what's driving the game now. It's not that the game is good. 2018, 2017, trash games, and there was nothing innovative, or they didn't fix any of their problems that they really had, but people still get hyped. You get me? Oh wow, what is going on? People still get hyped, and they don't realize it's like, okay, the neighborhood didn't change the gameplay issues that it had. The what else did they do? The storyline, cutscenes and stuff didn't change the gameplay issues that they had. It's like, I'm trying to play ball, you feel me? Okay, a cutscene's cool. Okay, the neighborhood roaming is cool, but that's not gonna keep me in for 20 hours. And then people still play it because all their friends play it. So it's like, oh, you playing 2K? You playing 2K? Let's play. So it's a groupie thing. It's not really a this game is the best game. So for me, NBA Live 2018 finally did it. It is the best basketball game out because of its gameplay. It's not no fluff. It doesn't have like, oh well, look at these cutscenes and let's look at this feature here that you're gonna go roam, and all that stuff is cool. We all get hyped over it. I'm a gamer, man. I do reviews. You check out my website, madgamer.com. But in the end of the day, that doesn't take away from the facts. You know what I mean? The fluff is cool, and a lot of games do it, and a lot of games are great at doing that and selling you salt to a slug. They'll sell you salt to a slug. I'll give an example. Right now, one of the most popular games is a game that is trash to me. And no disrespect to the game, what it was it got really popular. It had a marketing that was so good. Before I say what the marketing was so good, it made the game look good. And the game was in the alpha stage when it got popular, so it wasn't like it was a finished game, but the game got so popular. The name of the game, it is called PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. I know, I'm pretty sure mostly everybody that's here in my chat heard of that game. That game is insanely popular, probably the most popular game at the moment, right? Without a doubt. Now the fact of the matter is that while it is the most popular, it is a one game mode. It only has one game mode. Battle Royale. Survive. Give me that. I'm gonna start hurting these guys' things, man. But so you're talking about Battle Royale gameplay mode, and they kind of confuse you and make you feel like they got a lot of modes. Oh, 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 4-on-4, group match, you know, ranked modes, and it's like, it's the same game, fam. It's the same game. My fault. Bad defense. Ooh, still scoring. So So anyway, you feel me? These dudes, they want to start double teaming me. They ain't gonna touch me, man. I'm trying to win this game. Before we go any further, I'm gonna stop scoring. I need to get 3 rebounds, guys, and we're gonna go forward. So yeah, so like I was saying, so this game, Player Unknown Battlegrounds, or pub, whatever you want to call it. It only has one game mode. It has the most glitches and bugs and unreal, crazy things that happen in that game. And what happened was people started making a couple videos, and it got really funny and hilarious. Crazy things like the cars flying in the sky the moment it runs over a rock. One little rock made a car do front flips, back flips. And it was so unreal that people really started gravitating towards the game, and now it's one of the most popular games in all of gaming right now. And now I'm not hating, get your money, do you, man. You know, I'm hoping when I make my game it becomes as popular as that. But you're talking about games that have 15 game modes. They have high quality, no bugs or glitches in the game, and they don't become popular. You feel me? But in the end of the day, those games are better than PUG. But people are going to continue playing PUG. As far as my game, I can't tell you guys. I'm doing the most. All right, this is what it is. I'm a big dreamer. I'm a big dreamer. I don't play this half-baked life. You feel me? So the game I'm trying to create is going to be something that's never been done in the history of gaming, and it's going to be the most innovative. Why is he doing that? The most innovative game ever created in the history of video games. And that's saying a lot. And that's saying a little bit compared to what I'm trying to do. And I'll tell you this. The way it's created, it's going to be the super AAA. It's going to be quadruple A. That's how big the game I'm trying to make. And the reason why is because gamers need innovation. They need something. I want everybody to copy me once I finish it. I want them to copy me and do what I do. But it's going to be so revolutionary. You're never, ever going to have the same experience. Like, 2 players, it's going to be rare. It's one of those things where, how would I say, I can score easy, guys. We're not going to do that right now. We're going to go for some 3-point plays right here.
Players in this league are always able to find new and different ways to improve and raise their
trying to get some rebounds real quick.
It's really taken that to heart, and it shows, especially when you consider his exploits in the Pro-Am games.
And it comes.
So what I'm trying to explain is, I can't, you know, the experience for players will be different each time around, and there's so many options within how to play the game. It is ridiculous. Like, what I'm doing is going to be so powerful. Now the thing is, the cost, I've already looked up some of it. It's to say the least, is going to be a very expensive game to make. So the problem I'm having is before I pitch it, I already have a company that was interested in talking with me about it, and I didn't get to give them the full details. I explained pieces of it, but I didn't get into the full details about it. And they're interested. They were like, oh my God, you know, the small little summary I told them about the story, it was a great game. And they really were into it. But that's not my goal. I'm going to wait until I got everything down packed. So it's complicated because the money is a key. So what I'm doing is figuring out budgets, figuring out design setups and things that need to happen for the game to be created properly before I pitch it to somebody and say, okay, this is what you got to do for me, this is what I'm going to need from you, and we'll go from there. Look at that, assists left and right, baby. So listen, I got to get some rebounds right now. I'm going to get some steals real quick, or not. I got a foul. Hopefully the coach don't bench me. Sports game is not a sports game. It is an action game. I would say it's an adventure, but I can't tell you what type of genre specifically. Know that there's a lot of action. It is a third-person game. I'm thinking about making it an optional first-person too, but it's a third-person game at the moment.
That's too easy.
But you're gonna experience something that it is unique. Yes, I'm going for a triple double. I always go for the triple doubles. I'm a triple double king. Right now, I'm just trying to get rebounds, so I want my guys to shoot bad shots like that guy right there. Oh, I couldn't get that one, man.
Boy, they need to get something going here. Oh, excellent screen. That was one brutal screen. And
Couldn't get that block either.
nails it. He's shooting
But no. So
60% from the field.
story-wise, I'll tell you like this.
What a job they have done.
The way the story's set up is the mystery
and creating
never
scoring
ends.
opportunities
Even if you beat
for
the
each
game
other.
and you do everything, there's still a lot of great things to try to discover within the game. And what happens is players play a game where they don't want to play no more once they finish. And the end game becomes a problem, right? And what I mean by that is like, okay, this game, Uncharted, it was 4 hours. I mean, it was 7 hours to beat. Uncharted 4, one of the best games of last year. Oh man, it's so great. But then you never play it again.
Finish your defensive possession and
You
then
know,
get out
and no disrespect to them, but that's a dope game. It's just, how can you do something to give people a reason to continue to play? You know, so that's where, oh, I can't get the boards. So the reason I'm rushing to get the boards is because if I don't get the boards, the coach will bench me and he doesn't care about me getting a triple double. He really don't, to be honest. But I want that triple double, homie. So here I go. Cannot get it, man.
And much like the first half, we're seeing more misses than makes when they pull up from long range.
This guy's hurting my feelings right now.
Comes down with the offensive board and follows it up. Quick bucket there. That's a 12-4 run for the Bulls.
Oh,
Ball comes loose.
I'm playing like trash right now. I'm gonna go ahead and stop trying to force it and just play regular defense and then hope that I can get the rebound. Let's look at my stats for a second. The reason I'm chasing it, I need 2 more rebounds for a triple double, and then we can go from there. But we'll see what's up. But no, so like I was saying, for the game that I'm trying to create, I want to give people a reason to continue to play and really enjoy the overall story while playing a game that experiences differently each time you play. And the way you play determines how the game unfolds and the systems that work for you. So you have a lot of options in them. So it's a lot of fun so far trying to design it and write out the GDD, I mean, sorry. But oh yeah. So that's what the deal is. But forget, let's not talk about that right now.
All over, still takes the shot. Rebound corralled by Williams.
We're gonna cut that combo out because I ain't trying to spoil myself.
To Williams.
I want to get this rebound right now.
Another one from downtown.
There it is. One more, baby.
This is another one. They get
One
it back
more.
for an offensive rebound.
One more. I'm going for it right now.
How you can get a better quality
Or not.
shot and use your greatness to attract the second defender and find the open.
But yeah, we'll talk about that in the future. When the time comes, you know. And honestly, the reason I do Twitch commentary the way I do is because when I present my game, man, it's gonna be the most exciting thing in the world, and I'm gonna be doing it myself. Okay, I'll be a millionaire if this game ever gets created. I'm gonna automatically be a millionaire. But
the type of team that looks its best when it's
I'm still gonna take my time to do these streams to feed the communities on how to experience the game to the max. Because the way I look at it like this, man, I know how to get the most out of my games. And what I mean by that is, for example, Destiny 2 is not necessarily the greatest game. And if you play it so that you could tell your friends, look, I got the gun, this gun, or that gun, and that's cool. Of course, a lot of people play to be able to brag about they got this weapon, that weapon, and you know, whatever. But see, a guy like me, plays Destiny to get the most out of the experience. So what I do is I go in blind. There's a thing called a raid. It takes 6 people to beat the raid, and it's so specific that it's really difficult to beat, even if you know what to do. So I go into the raid without knowing what to do, with people who don't know what to do, and we'll be there just exploring and figuring it out together and enjoying the game together. And it is the best thing about Destiny 2. Everything else is cool. It's not like, oh, the end of the world.
Bonafide forcing up the shot. Good finish inside.
But anyway,
concentration to be able to shoot through the contested hand.
So that's where, you know.
Nice little dump off. Swarming defense, and he finishes at the rim.
What's up, James? I don't give shout outs to names, but you're hilarious right now. But yeah, man, so Destiny 2 is dope as hell. Going for that rebound, baby. Nope, no rebound.
This guy's a great shooter. They were on him like Velcro and forced the miss. Good defense.
Takes another one from downtown.
These guys is not missing, man.
Darren Williams, it's 1 for 6 from the perimeter.
That's a thing of beauty right there. The three-point shot, nothing but net.
Into the post.
How y'all feel about this camera angle? So this camera angle is called player lock. It basically follows me around. It doesn't care about what's happening on the court. It just follows me. And I like it. I feel like it's good for gameplay footage on a...
That one halfway down before popping out. Pretty little pass. Lopez unable to back it in.
Hey, it's simple.
I can score easily, guys. We're not worried about that part. We out here trying to get buckets.
Here, another missed opportunity.
There it is, triple-double. Let's pause it and take a second. I'm trying to average a triple-double in the playoffs. I got 40 points because I'm a greedy ball hog. But I did get 12 assists and 10 rebounds. And 1 rep. So they can't stop me.
How do you create separation in this game? You do it by getting more shots than your opponent. Good offensive rebound, sticking it back in, second chance point. Critical.
Look at that, adding on to my rebounds now. All of a sudden, I'm getting rebounds when I finish my thing. Saucing everybody. Saucing everybody. Look at that. Get off me,
I've been in the NBA a long time, but to see these
What
guys with their multitude
Ballin'.
of finishing
Ballin'.
around the basket, the ability to shoot with either hand,
I'm trying to
or
rob
either
Dwayne
foot,
Wade.
it still is a feat of terrific athletic ability.
Sends it to the corner.
Nice. Wade is a beast.
Knocks it down.
But yeah, no, so, you know, with gaming, you know, you gotta get the maximum experience. If I was to Google the raid, we would have done it in like 2 hours, an hour, and that's it. But since I didn't Google it, I spent hours with my crew. I was with my sister, my neighbor, another friend of mine. You know, we have a little clan for Destiny that we created or whatever. But the point is, we really got the maximum experience out of it. Got our money's worth. And what I'm going to do, you know, you got games like Dark Souls, which I never played. But one thing I loved and I heard about Dark Souls that I appreciated was the story. There's no linear story. You kind of just got to discover parts of the game and figure out the lore for yourself. So it's a really dope game when it comes to that. And I'm just going to go ahead and get buckets.
And now he moves around the defender. Nice adjustment. Soft touch gets the roll.
This is just too easy. The dribble penetration is killing them tonight. It's just too easy. You've got to make it harder to get the ball into the basket area.
Banks it in.
Okay, scored on me.
Down now. May not be able to come back in this game, but this type of basketball attacking the rim is what what they have to do to play better in future games.
Moves around the defender. Right back. Puts it down.
Oh, yeah.
This is on a
That's
PlayStation
nice, strong finish at the
4,
rim.
and it is a really good game. Oh, what is better, PlayStation 4 or the Xbox? Man, that's not even an argument. I'll say this, man. The Xbox One X hopefully can get developers to create games at a maximum capacity that will bring exclusives back to Xbox. But at the moment, Xbox has no exclusives, and they're pretty sad with that. Their console was garbage, original Xbox One. Not that it was garbage, it wasn't the greatest, and PlayStation 4 has better features, better specs, better exclusives, especially exclusives. Like, the exclusives are so good, it is crazy. So it's difficult to... Oh wow, good stuff. It's difficult to it's hard, man. I like PlayStation and everything, but I just feel really bad for Xbox. It's like, come on, man. Like, damn, gamers deserve to play all the games. And at this point, even though I play on PlayStation, it's like, yo, these exclusives need to stop. They need to send them to the PC and to the Xbox, and everybody got to enjoy them, man. Don't do that no more. Like, we get it. Okay, PlayStation, you got the best of the best. We're over it. Why don't you just put a sticker saying PlayStation made instead of PlayStation exclusives? Let everybody play them and just put PlayStation made. That way all these other gamers can enjoy it. Because I got a lot of friends who play on Xbox, and you know, they deserve to play these dope ass games. Simple as that. You know, I ain't no fanboy competition. Oh, well, they're better than this guy. Nah, man, let us play the damn game, bro. Like, for example, PlayStation guys, Gears of War was probably one of the few games that were great for Xbox One, and they did a good job with that game. But again, it's one of very few. So, you know, other guys should be able to play that. All these other games.
Excellent offensive play.
Yeah, exactly. MLB, the show, should definitely be on the Xbox. It's just doesn't make sense to me, man. And I get it, you know, these companies are in competition, but who damn cares, bro? The gamers are the one who matter, and we should be able to play and get every game for every system. And if you're asking about my dribbling is at like 82 or 83 or something like that. This is a wing defender, and his primary abilities is blocking shots, on-ball defense, steals, and layups. As you can tell, my layup game is on point. And
an 8-0 run for the Knicks.
This is probably the most single greatest playoff performance from any rookie in the world. I'm getting double teamed and everything, but I'm just like saucing guys. Oh, I got blocked. As I say that. Oh, bad play, y'all. Bad play. But yeah, no, that's how I feel about the console stuff, man. Like, damn, poor thing, man. Poor Xbox. And it shouldn't be that way no more, man. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I used to argue with people about, like, oh, PlayStation is better, you know, and tell them, let them know. But now it's at the point where it's like, man, that don't even matter right now. Like, this isn't cool, man. Let cats enjoy whatever game they feel. Wow. There goes the game.
And that's it. Time runs out. The final score is 126-98. For Jeff Van Gundy and our entire EA Sports crew, this is Mike Breen saying thanks for watching.
Here we go with the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Knicks put one in the win column with a solid performance. They were very opportunistic on defense, and it earned them a bunch of steals. Those first turnovers made all of the difference. The Bulls couldn't put it together to get the victory here today. And even though some of them smiled and shook hands with the other guys after the game, you can tell by the way they headed to the tunnels how disappointed they were about this loss. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the Chicago Bulls.
Game track. Fast break points.
The Chicago Bulls did so many things wrong when it came to defending the fast break. I'm not sure it's the kind of thing that can be fixed with a single practice. So they better get started, and soon. They were never quite able to recover from that onslaught in the opening half.
Player of the game.
And now, of course, the stats.
Who was cold?
This isn't the segment you want to be in, of course. But even the best players find their way into this part of the show. Here are the top plays.
Number 2. Number 1.
And now we've got the playoff bracket.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So anyway, so like I was trying to tell you guys, Carmelo Anthony got traded to Oklahoma City Thunder for Cantor and Doug McGrugmint, or whatever his name was, and also a draft pick. So you're talking about the best big three in the NBA. I'm arguing that if you want to challenge me, please give out your best big three. I'm not talking about the best teams. I'm not talking about that. I don't want to hear about the best teams. We already know Oklahoma City Thunder doesn't have the best team right now. They need a bench. They need a nice bench to be able to compete as the best team in the NBA. But we're talking about the big three. Who is the best big three in the NBA? Who you want to go with? You can't say Rockets because they only got Chris Paul and James Harden. You can't say Cavs because they only got LeBron James. Kevin Love, I wouldn't consider him a big three if you really want, I guess. But then Isaiah Thomas. So they're like a thin water, maybe kind of. Same thing with Golden State Warriors. They have Durant and they have Stephon Curry. But who's their third big one? You want to argue if it's Green? I don't think so. If you want to argue it's Klay Thompson, I don't think so. You know what I mean? So it's complicated. It's very complicated, folks. So now, outside of that, Boston has a big three, which I actually like their big three. Al Horford, decent. Gordon Hayward, decent. Kyrie Irving, superstar. So the argument is there. Who is the big three? Those are the teams, and you can argue yes or no, maybe so. I like that team. I don't know, but I just think Oklahoma has the best big three in the NBA. It's my personal opinion. You ain't gotta like it. You ain't gotta love it. But I'm out here saucing these teams. Yeah, I mean, the big three back when Miami Heat got together, that was an insane big three. The Boston Celtics back in 06 or 07, whatever it was, they had a big three. You know, like, it's interesting. This year is going to be interesting. You have a lot of players teaming up together. So we'll see what's up. Let's check out my coach here. Hey man. Game 3. Time to turn up. I'm always on. He's asking me what are going to be my goals for game 3. So now this is where this small RPG element for NBA Live, like I was trying to say earlier, somebody was asking me what's the better game, right? The competitors or NBA Live? The fact is NBA Live isn't going to give you no fluff. Okay, right now they don't got no cutscenes in their story. They ain't got no neighborhood to walk around in and do nothing in. So they can't give you that hype train of, oh my god, I gotta get this game for this, and then you realize it ain't really that special. But they give you something else, something new, something special that's really dope, and it's in-game special. So what's dope with me is I set my own goals naturally, but this game gives you goals. So right now my coach is asking me, what can we expect from you next game? Since I've been averaging a triple-double, he got it right here. Get a triple-double as a goal. Or if I want to average a 55% field goal percentage, average, can I do that? Or we're going to go with 10 rebounds. Now, all of these are really hard to do, to say the least. The 10 rebounds are one of my most difficult things to do, without a shadow of a doubt. But as y'all know, I like getting triple-doubles. I've been averaging a triple-double all season. And I'm in the playoffs trying to get a triple-double. And this setting this goal doesn't affect the play time or anything. It affects you getting the reward. So, you know, I'll get a reward for achieving it. As you can see, I'm going to get 1,500 hype points in the league. And then I'm going to get 1,500 reputation points. And that right there is a good boost, so I can do some things, get up there in the world. So, this ain't an easy task to get a triple-double in any video game, but I've been doing it, and I'm gonna say that to him, and he's been like, sounds good, let's get out there and win this game. You got it, coach. So I just set a new goal for myself for the next game, and there's already a bunch of different goals that we're gonna check out. The daily goals for this specific game, we're gonna go into it. I have to get assists. I have to get 21 points, which I've already done. I need to get some 5 field goals for the next game, Tuesday's game, and I gotta average a triple-double, as you can see it right there for Tuesday's game. As you can see on the top, I didn't make any threes, so I failed that one and didn't get the rewards. But I think I'm doing really good. I think I'm doing really great, to be honest. As you can see, I've won Player of the Month. I made it to the All-Star game also. Player of the Month every single month in the season. So you know I'm balling. For those asking about my stats, here's the deal. This isn't my official stats. This is the deep look into the actual stats. I'm gonna try to check it out real quick for those that were just asking. There's people on Periscope, YouTube, Twitch, and Mixer all hanging out with me today, so I appreciate y'all. Yeah, this trade is bananas in New York right now. People are calling me and texting me, but I'm on my stream, so I'm kind of antisocial about how I do things. I consider my streams very professional sometimes. Sometimes I keep them real smooth and whatever, but a lot of times I like to keep it professional. Alright, so game 2. Now we're in game 3. Let's check out these alerts before we go forward. So that person that was asking about my stats and how I set up my settings. So the way this game works, right? You have to pick a play style. A play style is basically picking a position, and within that position there's play styles. So there's guards, wings, and bigs, right? That's the 3 setups you can choose from. Then within them you have shooters, scorers, defensive players, and a little more of a balanced player. So I picked a defensive player. We're going to look at his stats for the moment. Defensive players, on the ball defense, I got that maxed out. Shot blocks, I got that maxed out. Steals and layups, all maxed out. Then for my secondary, you get to decide what secondary you want. Out of a certain amount of options, you get to decide. I picked dribbling and mid-range shots just so I can have the diversity of putting in some work. Now, this said, the way this game is designed, players cannot force it. You can't have a 7-footer that runs faster than Stephen Curry and dribbles like Stephen Curry. This game doesn't allow you unrealistic stats. It does 100% true stats, and they keep a good balance in there. So my guy's a small forward, about 6'7", I think. 6'7", maybe 6'8". His speed and his strength are determined by his weight and his height. So a lot of the stats depend on your weight and your height. Like the physical stats go by that. So you can't upgrade those. You can only upgrade your primary skills and your secondary skills. And what this does is not allow players to create a 7'3" guy who dribbles like Stephen Curry, which I love, and I think is a big reason why it is a lot better than the competitor game. And this is something that I personally appreciate about this game. It's really dope. Now the second side to this is that playstyle that I told you I picked. See this red icon right up top? That right there is my personal goal. I'm going to go ahead and click on it so you can see what it is. Basically, if I get a block, a steal, or contest a shot on defense, I am granted a boost of scoring at the rim for 1 possession. And what happens here is that's my special ability that I have at any time. And then, of course, I can rank it up to the second level where it gets maximized. Now, outside of that, there's this really cool feature. I don't know if you ever played a sport, specifically basketball, since we're talking basketball, where you're like, you know what, I got to start getting rebounds, man. I'm going to focus on rebounds. So these loadouts called traits are things that help you upgrade your play style and your abilities. I have an ability here called catch and shoot, and what that does is that boosts my catch and finished attempts. So anytime I catch the ball, this trait activates for a short amount of time, and then the moment that I use it, it'll be deactivated or whatever. Some abilities are like this one here, where it pretty much just gives me extra stamina and a little bit of speed to help me move around quicker and to have a better stability around the court, right? So those are traits. You can change these at any time, and there's a bunch of them here. I can go down the long list, which I'm not going to. Statement dunker is one I want to unlock, which basically dunking on an opponent grants your team a defensive boost, which is a really dope thing. I'm almost there. I got to win a couple more games and I can unlock this ability. And there's just a ton of them. Pick and rolls for 3-pointers, for dribbling, for screens, for defense, for rebounds, etc., etc. There's a lot, folks, and they're just really good to have. And actually, you change them a lot. When I play online against other players, I change them a lot depending on who I'm playing. I always play on Superstar. Superstar is the hardest difficulty in this game. I'm going to go ahead and show y'all that. So now the second part, before we get into the difficulty and all that you were asking about, we got the store and the outfits. We're going to go to my outfits. We have street outfits also here. These are the ones I created. I got the Knicks jersey, as y'all know I'm a Knicks fan. But then I have just a regular wild style one. Another one that's kind of like whatever. And I just kind of put some together real quick, nothing fancy. And of course you have the league. But they have some dope shoes. I don't have a lot of shoes, but I have a good amount. Does the clothing boost your stats when you wear them? There is a factor into the clothing. As you can see right under it, if you look to the right side of this game, it tells you legendary quality, right? That's the gold under. But if I go to this one here, it's purple. And you can see that for a second. The purple on the right side of the game, it tells you the name of the shoes and all that. And it tells you what type of quality it is. So these are rare, which is RPG element style of gaming. So yes, your clothing does play a factor somewhat. I'll explain that in another time. But we're going to go into the store and see how these things work. What's really cool about the store is there's multiple ways to get it. You can't just go get GP. Get RP, which is reputation points. And then, for example, I'm going to go ahead and go to the starter kit, see what they got in here. A bunch of cheap stuff I ain't really feeling, to be honest. But if I go down to like Nikes or Adidas, whatever, you know, the league, let's see. Streets, Stephon Curry's, he got some shoes. I don't really like his shoes. I ain't hating on him though. Don't think I'm hating, but I'm just saying I'm not feeling this swagger. I can go down to Adidas, for example. I like Adidas, so I could rock an Adidas. You know, I like the Dames. I don't know why. Dame got some fire. And then we can go into KDs, who always got the dope shoes. My son's favorite shoes are KDs. He'd be rocking these. I think my son has, I bought my son these and these. He's always rocking KDs, so that's his style. But my favorite player, Melo, right here. And these are his shoes. So there you go. So there's a whole bunch of stuff, tattoos, clothing, stuff I haven't unlocked just yet. I'm almost at the max. I'm already at, you know, high level here when it comes to most of it. Almost finished. Let's see these celebrations, as a matter of fact. Hold on a second. I gotta get one of these, you know. Shh. I like that. He hit his own head. Negative. I can't be doing those corny ass. Anyway, so that's some of the stuff. There's of course tattoos and all that. But that's right there. Most of the setup. What's really dope about this game, as far as the face design, that's my grill right there, guys. That's my face right there. You just got to get on the app, download your face. I mean, do the app. You just scan your face through the app, and then you can see what's up from there. That's legit how I look, more or less. Skin color might be a little darker than that, but it's okay. And then you could change all the facial aspects. Put myself a beard. I grew a blonde beard overnight. I got the Harden swagger. Just playing. We're gonna keep what I got because that's more or less the type of haircut I get all the time. So, but anyway, that is the setup for your character. Of course, there's other things like tattoos, player info, blah blah blah. But now you know. I'm giving you the rundown, and there you have it. So it's been a really good season, to say the least. Our team is doing really good with rebounds, assists, and points. I'm gonna step back out for a second so y'all can check out. I don't want to talk about my record. I had a bad season. We barely made it into the playoffs. This is what I can tell you. If you missed it earlier today, I played the final game of the season, and we were literally 500. We weren't above 500. In the last game, if we won, we were going to make it into the playoff. If we lost, we probably weren't going to be in the playoffs in the East. So that tells you how bad our record was. But there was a lot of other teams with a bad record too. But alright, let's check out something else outside of that. I ended up 5th in the playoff bracket, which is good for me. I'm going to be dominating either way. Alright, so this right here, what you're looking at is the Pro-Am section of this game. This is where I told you guys the NBA Live is doing big things. They don't gotta put fluff on stuff. They're just showing you some dope stuff. So we're gonna go into the Philly tournament over here, the Chosen League tournament. So the way it works is you have your tournament right here, and then you have these throwback challenges. These throwback challenges are separate individual things that what they do is they provide you with a fun little gameplay. For example, AI is one of the ones you can unlock to play. I'm gonna click on it. We're gonna look at what you have to do. So I'm gonna play a 5-on-5 street game, and AI is gonna be on the other team. I have to score 3 more points than AI. I have to get 2 step backs, and I have to bump a player to stop him from dribbling, all in the game against AI and his team. And it's a really dope challenge to complete, which I haven't done yet, but challenge to complete, and there's a reward for you when you do complete it. So each of these have their own challenges. The AI challenge, you know, you got the Kyle Lowry. You have the Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid challenge, Iguodala, and right here, Waiters and Morris. Those are some challenges within the game while you're playing. Now each of them have their own separate different style. But now let's get into the Pro-Am. This is one of the 5 tournaments that are in the Pro-Am. And as you can see, I've already won them, but I got the reward for it, direct reward. But then if I get the objectives, I can get another award. And it's pretty easy. I just need to box somebody out on this one, which I didn't do. And then on this one, I got to hit a mid-range shot and contest 2 shots on defense. I think that's fairly easy to do. Well, let's do them right now. Let's see what reward I can get out of this. So I got to play 2 quick games and dominate. So let's remind ourselves, 1 mid-range and 2 defensive shot contests. But yeah, back to the moral of the story here, folks. We are looking good, feeling good, doing good. Life is really good. Let me try to smash these guys real quick. Check out my wrist bands. I don't know what to call those things actually. So I got to get a mid-range shot. I'm going to go ahead and jack up a shot right away. I'm going to call for an ISO. I'm going to call for a pick and roll. Let's see what happens. Bad shot, bad shot. I got contested. So the mid-range, I got to stop fooling around and take good shots selections. And I feel like, you know, when you start to worry about what you're supposed to do, you end up not doing it. Right there, I got the mid-range, easy. Now I got to play some defense and try to get two stops somewhere along the way. So contested shots are more about being in front of the guy. So right there, I still haven't even got one contested shot yet. And one rough. For example, I can't get the damn contested shot. I'm trying so hard. It looks easy, right? Sounds easy. Which I'll get it before the end of the game, I think. When the score is up to 21, this game is up to 21. Right now, doing alright. But I gotta start stepping it up on my defense here and figure out a way to get that contest. If they didn't pass the ball to my player, then I can't get a contested shot. So that's why you see I'm leaning off of him, trying to let him do his thing a little bit. I wanted to shoot a jumper. Oh no. Well, not like that. Not in my face. So it's difficult. You know, it sounds easy. Some of them can be easy, and they are easy. But you got to get lucky and have somebody shoot around you so you can get that stop. So far, no good. Got him. Come on, bro. Shoot a shot. I'll be backing up again. Not so easy, right? Not so easy. When the players are not. Oh, my team sucks. It's gonna be a tight game just because I'm letting them score. Normally I'll play hardcore D and stop them from scoring at all. I could literally steal it from this dude. Don't shoot. One ref. So the next couple shots they have to allow me to damn stop them. If not, it's a wrap. Oh wow. I have to let them score twice for me to be able to get my 2 contests. And this is, again, very easy stuff. Oh, I need one more, actually. Word. One more, baby. It's going to happen right now. Got it. I think I got it. Did I get it? I didn't get it. Damn it. Come on, man. That was a block. Contest 2 shots on defense. So yeah, the camera angle is different here because this is the actual game mode where I play with other players and stuff like that. So I kind of use the standard camera angle. And what I'm going to do is have my center shoot a bad shot. Have them shoot another bad shot. And let them get the boards. No! So there it is. That's how you finish the game and not complete your goals.
Play of the game.
So now I got to play it again until I get it right. And even though it sounded easy and I'm a really good player, it's hard to do certain things. Contested shots there that I didn't get. Some of them are super easy, some of them are a little more difficult. But yeah, to get that reward, I gotta complete each objective. If I don't, then basically I'm not getting a reward. And it's pretty fun because sometimes you have to replay and you're like, what the hell? And it's really thrilling when you play against like AI and you gotta score more than him, but he's getting buckets. And then all of a sudden, alright, let's go get a quick 2-shot contest. Down. So you see I'm giving him space so he can come out and hopefully again I could beat these guys easy. That's not the concept. Problem here is getting them contested shots. Oh. And one ref. Damn, ref. Serious? They got me, they got me, they got me. Come on, Nick. Got one. Oh, it is. Got one. Oh, we did it, we did it, we did it. Now I can just play ball. Get some buckets. Oh, wow, that was a bad shot. Too bad. It's going down, baby. We did it. There's only one more goal to get after this game. And it's going to be the easiest goal of them all. But yeah. Sitting here getting text messages about this Carmelo Anthony trade. Still big news. Just happened. Oklahoma's just dominating the offseason. I think they're going to be one of the biggest winners. Of course, Boston is right there with them as far as picking up Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving. I mean, 2 stars there. Damn, I can't hit a jumper. That's 2 in a row, I think. Don't do it, brother. Okay, do it. See what happens when you let other people try to score. So far, it's been a straight either bad defensive game or a good defensive game or a bad offensive game, one or the other. But we haven't been scoring. It's been a lot of tic-tac type of gameplay. You can't even hit a layup. I missed 2 jumpers and a layup. Good block. Let's go. And that person on YouTube, man, I don't know, man. I don't be on that subbing life. I don't even care if people sub on mine. In the sense of, like, I'm not pushing people, telling people, go sub, go sub, go sub. You know, if you're sub, they sub. They gotta do it out of their own heart, man. This ain't no forceful thing, you know. People want to do it and they want to do it. You're asking me to sub to you when I don't even sub to my friends. I mean, I gotta find the time to do it and to worry about that too much. I'm really not into that hype, you know what I mean? So if you ever watch any of my streams, I never tell people to like my page, subscribe, leave a comment. I never really do that. That's more for the people to decide on their own. That's how I feel about it. So I get where you're coming from. You want people to subscribe and like you. You know, Mr. Zay Gamer. Everybody go subscribe to his page because he's over here fiended out for it. Show him love. I really am not going to ask you to do that for me. If you're watching and you want to do that, thank you. I mean, I appreciate you. I appreciate you twice as much as the people who force you to subscribe. Because the people that force you are forcing you. Go subscribe right now. Go subscribe. You know, me, if you do it naturally, man, that's gratefulness at its finest. Because it's real. It's authentic. It's true. You know, you really wanted to subscribe. So that's why I would prefer natural, organic subscriptions. And people have just genuinely done that for me. So I appreciate them for that. More than, like I said, the forceful, oh, subscribe, man, you gotta like my page right now. And sorry, Zay Gamer, to put you on the spot, but it's kind of a good moment to say what's real on my side of the world and how I deal with things. You know? Hope you understand. I appreciate me expressing that. Good luck to you. I hope the whole world subscribes to you. Because it doesn't affect me if they do it or don't. So that'd be really dope. And you get 10 billion subscribers. Yo, what's up with these guys trying to catch up, man? Just go get buckets real quick. Yeah. My fault. These guys are doing really good with this. Forcing up shots, man. Getting banged out. Talk about bodying, folks. That was a hard play right there. Up on 2 fools. Balling. Alright, let's see if I can get a quick robbery from this dude. Oh, look at him saucing me up. So anybody else watching, you hear me express that, there's this guy who keeps coming in asking me to subscribe and all this stuff to his channel, and I'm like, dude, you know, I let him live. Even though that's spam, I let it live. And I try to express to him, I'm not deeply into that, man. You know, maybe as a favor or whatever, but if you just trying to force me to do something for you, man, I don't see the, you know. Oh.
Play of the game.
Dessert. I got them challenges almost done. I got one more left, man. This ain't no joke. This is a hard stuff. I got those 2 that I needed on this game. I got it done, but I got to do one more, which is the most easiest of them all. So now what I want to talk about, I was talking about the Carmelo Anthony trade. The New York Knicks have 5 big men. 5 big men. They have 5 big men, and you just can't do that. You gotta have 3 maybe. KP, aka Porzingis. Alright, so the last goal I need is right here. Box out, the easiest thing. I can't believe I didn't get it in that last game. I mean, in the first time I played this. So they have 5 big men. They need to make one more big trade. They definitely got beat in this trade. They lost the greatest scorer that I ever seen. I know that people are gonna be like, "You're crazy, man." And right now I'm gonna lose all my viewers, subscribers, and followers of the world. But Carmelo Anthony is my favorite player because he's the greatest scorer I ever seen in my life. I watched Jordan. I watched Kobe. And Carmelo has more than both of them. Now, what I mean is, Jordan could take it to the rack, and he could hit you with jumpers. Kobe can hit you with jumpers, and he could take it to the rack, right? So we're gonna get this thing out the way. I'm gonna do a box out right now. There it is. Final objective complete, guys. That means all I gotta do is win this game, and we won it all. But anyway, so those guys, Kobe and Jordan, my favorite players of all time, are great scorers, to say the least. But Carmelo Anthony can post you up down low. He can take you to the rack. He can shoot from the three. He can do it all. So for me, he was the best scorer I ever seen in my 35 years of living, watching Jordan, watching Kobe. I just am amazed by him. And the problem was he couldn't get in a great team. He's never been on a great team. Even now, this big ass trade, like if he's a beast and oh my god, I can't believe they have the big three. Nah, man, they still hurting. They still hurting. They still need a bench for them to be contenders against these amazing teams. So the argument now is for Melo's legacy, for him to be considered what I consider the greatest scorer, that has to come down to him getting a bench and him actually playing. But when I say scorer, I didn't say the greatest player. Greatest scorer is different from greatest player. You know, it's just like greatest big man. You can't argue greatest big man is Michael Jordan. That make no damn sense. So, you know, it's an argument, but everybody has their own opinions. But that's not the topic. The topic is New York has one more big trade in them. They have 5 big men. They have a really, really solid team now when it comes to young players. So if they can get another piece that's going to complement them, I don't see the problem here with doing another trade, getting rid of 2 of their big men for somebody that needs the big men. Yeah, I mean, the question is, how do they beat Warriors, Spurs, Rockets? You know, like, you got a long list of teams when it comes to Oklahoma, but I'm talking New York right now. New York has a big trade waiting for them. Of course, they have to get a team to want whatever they're offering, and they don't have, like, amazing stuff. You're not going to give up Porzingis. Porzingis is the greatest player on their team when it comes to young talent. You know? Hold on a second. Let me get my phone real quick. Who could they give up? That is going to be the key point. And what they can get back is the key point. I want to keep Willie Hernandez, whatever you want to call him. Willie Gomez Hernandez. I want to keep Porzingis. So those 2 guys we could keep. Cantor, you could trade right back to somebody else. I don't really care. Even though he might be good for the Knicks. I'm just trying to think, you know, who can we trade that's going to be really good to pick up somebody unbelievable. You know, you got Joakim Noah, Cantor, what's this dude's name? Cal O'Quinn. Those 3 guys, you could trade all 3 of them and get me somebody. And the reason I'm saying that is because for me, the future is Willie Hernandez, Hernan Gomez, whatever his name is, and Porzingis. And now, do you want Joakim Noah on your team? Yeah, he's cool, but is he back to where he needs to be? Is he still injured? Is he gonna keep getting suspended? You know, what is going on with him? And Cantor's a great player. He's kind of youngish. You know, he's decent. Can we make him work? Who are we gonna get rid of? How are we gonna do this? So that is a great debate at the moment. You know, we're still trying to figure out what is the plan. Oh man, bad plays. So I'm pretty sure they got a big trade ahead of them. Is it going to be a good trade? Knicks already lost that last trade. The only thing that they didn't lose is Porzingis. Like, trading Carmelo tells you that they're focused on keeping Porzingis as a star player. So I don't know how it's gonna work, but like I said, you can trade Joakim Noah, Cantor, You could trade. Well, I don't think you could trade Cancer because he just got traded. So for him to get traded again, I don't know if that's possible. I don't know how that works. The NBA has new rules all the time, so we'll see what they'll do. I know it's like if you get traded, you can't get traded again until January or something crazy like that. Post this dude up. Oh, jump shot in his face. He got me. Good D, good D. Josh. That's Josh Jackson, right? Am I crazy or no? Is that guy Josh Jackson? So it's complicated because now if you want to get Noah or Cantor out of the game, out of the team, two big contract centers, which that's going to be the key. One of those two are going to go. I'm sorry to say it, but one of those two will go. And depending on who goes, you know, the contract, we got to send somebody else. We got to send some type of youth. We got to send some type of there we go. Nice defense. So we got to send some type of youth for that. We ain't gonna be able to just give away Noah for nothing unless we're gonna get nothing back. So if we really want a good piece, we got to give up some youth for that. And I don't want to give up Kaz, I don't want to give up Willie, and I don't want to give up Porzingis. Not at all. Get up off me, D. Hitting threes. Oh, that was a two. Okay. Money. Nobody wants Noah. Oh man, that's disrespectful, man. Listen, Noah was an MVP candidate, a all defensive player, an all-star. He carried his team when Derrick Rose. I said Dark. When Derrick Rose got injured, he carried his team into the playoffs. He was the point guard center for a long time. He did some really great stuff for Chicago when they were in the playoffs with Derrick Rose at the time. And yes, he's not the exact same young boy, but he definitely put in some work. So I just look at it like he's a valuable asset for youth players. He can be the voice and the backbone and spirit to help the young guys really keep themselves in line. Now, is that going to happen? Is that a short shot? I mean, you don't know. You can't argue yes or no. It would be nice, but that there's no short shot at all. So, I understand where you're coming from. You're not feeling it right now. I get it. What I think for Melo, this dude just got here. Bro, I just spent the last 2 hours talking about what I think about Melo trade right now. That Melo trade, man, again, it's very simple. Carmelo Anthony is just joined the big three, the best big three. That's my opinion. I don't think anybody, if whoever's watching, can go ahead and send a comment. This is what I won. This jersey right here. Do y'all know who this is? Iceman. So name the best big three. I'm not talking about the best teams. We're not going to get into the best big three. The best big three with no bench. Yes, that is very true. But the best big three in the NBA, to me, is Oklahoma City Thunder. They got Carmelo Anthony, Paul George, and Westbrook. You can go down the line of other big threes. like LeBron James, Kevin Love, and Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas and Kevin Love don't compete with Melo, Paul, and Westbrook. It just doesn't happen. Okay, LeBron does. LeBron is a star player, but you know, you just can't do it. Then you're gonna get into oh, the Golden State have a big three. Who is their big three? You're gonna say Klay Thompson or Green? Any of those two don't compete against the big three in Oklahoma. So that argument is like, nah. So it's complicated to try to get into it on big three. We can keep going back and forth. So anyway, I just wanted this award from going and doing the achievement. I'm not going to wear that, guys, so far back. But that right there is the challenges within these tournaments. I just want to, if you're from Philly, you'll definitely appreciate that. Mr. Ice himself. And that's how these game modes work. Separate awards for winning the tournament and for achieving the objectives. But anyway, and then you go to Houston. Who's the best in Houston? You got two great stars, but then you have some good, decent players. I was talking about Eric Gordon, how he's a sleeper. People don't realize he's an amazing player. And he's over there in the Rockets with Chris Paul and James Harden together. So they're going to be putting in some work and doing some serious things. But the argument is, who's the best big three? I got to give it to Oklahoma City Thunder. They won that trade, but it is not over yet. And we don't know who's going to dominate in the end of the day. And that doesn't mean that Oklahoma is the best team because they have the best three. It just means that they have the best three. They got to get a bench. And remember, James Harden was a shooting guard. They just put him as a point guard last year because Mike D'Antoni was a madman, and he just said, yo, let's get it. And that worked for them. But, you know, we'll see what happens. I think there's a lot of great teams. The NBA is flourishing, and it's evolving each day. Looking better and better, in my opinion. And I'm excited for it. And we're going to just really continue to be the best that we could be and do the best that we could do for New York, because I'm a New Yorker. And hopefully we can make it happen, man. It's not an easy task, to say the least. I'm going to go back into the league and probably play one more game in these battles here. All I got to do is win this next game, and we're moving on to the next round. But yeah, no, so talking about that whole thing with the Rockets, I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell you if the Rockets are going to be successful. Just like the Oklahoma, you can't tell me that they're going to be successful. You can't tell me this or that team is going to be successful. You can hope that they do, and you hope that they don't get injured and stuff like that. But you're talking about some talented players that they're. The thing with me and the thing that's scary about Oklahoma is they are hungry for a title. They are not playing around. Like, they all are veteran players who've been at it for a long time and that are really about to try to dominate this. And they're going for a title, man. As long as the egos get pushed aside, they're going for a title. That's just the way it is. So I'm pretty sure.
Hello, everyone. Along with Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Breen on hand.
they'll be fine as far as competing. They have experience. Each player is a superstar player that carried their team for years. So now together they're going to support each other and hopefully come together to win the title. So now this league is different than the street ball games. Like, I gotta play more conservative, intelligent, no mistakes. I gotta get a triple double this game, so that's not gonna be easy.
Gets past the defender to the basket, gets to the rim, and it rolls in.
And yes, the camera angle changed, like I told y'all. I'm going with the locked on player style, so you guys can get a little closer look. See what's happening. I was drafted to the Knicks. Well, actually, I was drafted to Chicago. I asked to get traded to the Knicks before I even played a game. And the Knicks took me in, but I was a bench warmer until I decided to step my game up. Wow, that was some Jordan-esque play right there, guys. Let's check that out.
But had no impact on the shot. Nice two-point jumper.
Levine's using the screen, looking to get free. Grant gets to the rim. Sweet off the glass.
Fundamentally sound ball handling right there. Kept it low, got the blow by to the basket, and a nice finish.
Oh, excellent screen. Pretty little pass in the paint. Hernangomez unable to drop it in off the glass.
Hey, you're in a close game. You better guard like your life depended.
Dude, can't get a damn board, bro. I mean, can't get a shot. Get a pick from you, bro.
Gets it down low to the basket.
That's what I'm talking about.
And the foul. Chance at a three-point play now with the free throw coming up.
You earned it. Take the hit. Take the blow.
I know, right? Mark Jackson, man, one of the best. Man down, hand down, man down. I think for me, Mark Jackson, underrated announcer. Jeff Hornacek is just hilarious. I'll just say that. He's just good to have because he keeps it 100. You know, he doesn't feed into the whole trying to be professional. He just says what's real, and you gotta love him for that. He be wild sometimes, but you gotta love him for the honesty.
And now he moves around the defender, gets a piece of it for the layup. Nice work on the adjustment and banks it home.
It's hard to guard NBA level athletes who can also handle the ball. Here, using his dribble drive opportunity.
Get quick buckets, folks.
And finishes right at the rim with strength.
Oh, my fault. Jeff Van Gundy, man. What am I saying? I said his name wrong.
The comeback kid has been able to accomplish some impressive feats this season, especially when you consider the pressure that's being put on today's rookies. These young men constantly being asked to deliver and perform amid all this attention and off-the-court demands as well.
The scrutiny has never been more challenging for a young player.
Good triple-double with blocks, baby. That's how we doing it today.
The social media world puts them under the microscope 24 hours a day. No misstep is tolerated. That can be helpful in some avenues, but also the pressure to be perfect is unrelenting.
Williams jump shot. Won't go. This is his first field goal attempt.
Oh, bad pass. I was just sitting here trying to force these dudes to shoot threes so I can get the rebound if missed. But I wanted the assist also. So again, this is where the being a greedy player trying to get assists the whole game and rebounds can cost me big, and I can lose big time from being that type of ignorant player, which I shouldn't.
Mirotic using the screen, trying to get free. Mirotic fires away from downtown.
Let's go for Zingis.
The screen. Oh, quick move, gets inside. Fires for two.
Gonna get these quick.
The needle. Pretty pass. Kristaps Porzingis with 10 points. To Lopez. For three. The wide open shot.
Yes, sir. 3 rebounds in the start of the first quarter. That's how you know it's going to be a good game. We just got to win the game is the problem. I think overall, and one.
Tries the reverse layup. Oh, nice bank shot.
That's deep penetration into the paint, which usually results in a nice finish.
Wade's
I'm
working
not going to
hard,
score on this
backing down
move.
his opponent. Wade
That's what I
fires.
thought.
Oh, in and out.
Couldn't have played that
Get
shot
that ball,
any
B.
better.
Show you how to get some buckets.
More difficult shot.
Come on, refs.
If it was an open look.
Let's check out the physicality here.
Pass from Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah, that mellow
I
trade,
think
man. Like I
you
keep
have
telling
to
everybody,
see a
keep talking about it on
defensive
YouTube and
adjustment
all the
He's
other
just
places.
making it look
In the end of the day,
so
man,
easy early in this
Oklahoma
matchup.
has the best big three in the game right now.
In a rough
I can't think of a
stretch. Let's see
bigger,
if they
a
can
better
work themselves out of
big
it right
three
now.
in the NBA. But that doesn't mean they have a better team. They need a bench. They don't have a bench, and they're gonna be hurting until they get some players. And I think if they have a really good,
And handled.
you know, setup here when it comes to
Pass to the corner. Williams from beyond
wow.
the arc. And
Damn,
Darren
my team's
Williams
getting
with the
buckets,
jumper.
B.
A three-pointer. And Chicago calls a timeout. Their defense not stopping anyone right now.
But yeah, so
This is a results-oriented
until they get a bench, they ain't gonna
I'm
be
not
nobody.
crazy about that transition three, but it
They
went
really
in.
need a good bench
They got
to
the whole
help
thing.
them be truly successful. Earlier, somebody compared me to Stephen A. Smith, and I would hate to be Stephen A. Smith. The thing with Stephen A. Smith, sometimes he says things that are so genius and so great, but then sometimes he says things out of hand and ridiculous. And I think that comes with taking a risk, you know, trying to be, you know, dramatic the way he always tries to be. And I just feel like it's a show, you know. It doesn't. He doesn't have a genuine opinion. I feel like I'm genuine about my opinion. I think he's eccentric on purpose because he wants to sell for
The Bulls get to
ESPN,
inbound.
Chicago's
you know.
gotta take
But
advantage of that timeout.
you know, so
They
basically
had
I'm
their
hating on him.
chance to talk it over.
That's what I'm saying.
It's time to get a basket.
He's annoying sometimes, but he's really great sometimes. And I used to be a big fan of him, but then he started being ridiculous about New York Knicks to the point where I just was like, you know what, dude, I'm off you, man. I'm tired of you.
He's among the
Yo,
leading
ref,
leaders in
really?
scoring this season. Knocks it down.
But so that's my problem with him. That's my honest opinion with him. And it's not like I'm really against him or something, but I just don't like that. So in a way, you know, he's good. He's great because he gets really dramatic and it's fun and entertaining. But then in a way, it's like, yo, be quiet, dude. Shut up. It's like this dude called Dashy. Somebody put me on to him. My cousin was like, oh, this guy's hilarious, man. You gotta check him out. I don't know if it was my cousin or a friend. And I'm like, all right. And then I watch him and I laugh and I laugh and I laugh and I think he's hilarious. But then there are times when you can tell he's just trying really hard to be funny, and it's like, bro, it's like, okay, you missed on that. So it's a hit or miss. I like genuine comedians, you know, genuinely funny people or genuine.
Extreme pressure as well.
Anthony the jumper.
Getting them boards, baby.
Excellent job
Oh,
on the
bad
offensive
pass.
glass. He's averaging 10
Don't let him
rebounds
score.
per game this season. Puts it up. Ready, bank shot.
Try to get that block.
You just got to keep playing the game. Push the ball in transition. You get it to the rim. Good finish. Hey, you've got a big mountain to overcome with this deficit, but you just trying to win each and every possession.
Yeah, I mean, they might gel, they might not gel when it comes to Oklahoma. I do hear where you're coming from. It is not easy to gel, but you got to understand right there, all the big part is ego. So you got 3 superstar carry your team players. And these guys can destroy teams, each of them. So what they gotta do is humble themselves. You know, one thing that I saw that I explained to people is Dwayne Wade knows how to win. LeBron James didn't know how to win until he met Dwayne Wade. Simple as that. And the fact was, Dwayne Wade said, I'm going to let LeBron get gassed up and feel like the superstar, and I'm going to fall back. And the whole NBA was thinking, oh, Dwayne Wade don't got it. LeBron is carrying him. That was not true. Dwayne Wade was allowing LeBron to get comfortable and feel good about himself. And Dwayne Wade was always right there carrying LeBron anytime LeBron needed the backup and needed the support and needed the push. That's what a good teammate does. And that was where Dwayne Wade was the winner. He was the great player when in their team to help them become the winners that they were. Because if not, they would have just been egocentric team, not doing what they needed to do. So that's an example of what Golden State, Oklahoma will have to do. When you see Golden State come together with Durant, you know, they just humbled each other. They let their egos go to the side. They focused on being the best team together, and they let Durant be Durant, because Durant was the best player of last year, 2017 I'm sorry, season and playoffs. He was in the playoffs, he was the best player in the NBA. In the season, you know, he was a great player. So, you know, Curry knew that that's what it took. So Curry had to fall back a bit. You know, it wasn't like Curry had to stop being a good player, but it's about understanding that sometimes you just got to slow your roll. So, you know, that's where the argument gets into play of what could Oklahoma do? Do they got what it takes? Man, you got dudes that have been playing for over 10 years each. They're tired of this. They're tired of losing. They're tired of not winning. And that's where they at. And KD just wanted a championship, just like you're saying. That's what I'm saying about Carmelo, Paul George, and Westbrook. So you got the most deadliest team in the league right now when it comes to those guys. Now, if they don't have a bench, I don't give a damn about your big three. I don't care how big your big three is. You ain't got no bench, you ain't going nowhere. So we'll see. I gotta look into their bench to see who they got right now, what they can do. But I'm pretty sure they'll be fine. I mean, I'm not gonna worry about them. They're gonna have a good season either way. You know, they're gonna still win 50 to 60 games, I would say. They will win 60 games automatically. Oklahoma City Thunders, that is. But to be honest, I'm a New Yorker, so my big issue is more about the overall aspect. Hold on a second. It's on my phone real quick, trying to post this quick tweet. Get these quick buckets. Show y'all what it do.
Absolute control of your transition defense. There are no excuses for not getting yourself back and ready to guard.
As far as if they will stay or not, I mean, who knows what will happen. If they win a championship, you know they're staying together. But they're going to have to get a bench that is good enough for them. This dude just sauced me up.
Porzingis jump shot. Porzingis 2-pointer. Won't go.
Don't do it, bro.
Adjusts. No doubt.
So yeah, wondering who's gonna stay, who's not gonna stay. I don't know.
Now it's time for 2 free throw attempts after that.
You talking about that Trump stuff? Listen, man. I think it's more than enough evidence to understand that the President Trump, which I don't consider a president, the person who's occupying the seat of the president at the moment, let's just say, He's not my president, that's for sure. And I'm sorry to say that, but it is what it is. I try to be civil about it, but it just gets worse and worse each day. And he's proven that he's just terrible in every way. So I'm just over him, man. I'm over him. And I don't even want to put him in my mouth. Like, I don't even want to say his name. You know, like, ugh. And it's not like I hate him or nothing. I feel bad for him. And I shouldn't feel bad for a millionaire who got elected president, right? But in the sense of his mentality, and you know, we're all human and we all have bad qualities. I'm not perfect, and I say stupid things all the time. So we're not sitting here to judge somebody on that. But I'm not just saying hurtful, mean things about humankind, humanity and people, and disrespectful things like that. It's just not something that you do. That's not the type of person you should be. Oh, wow. So that's where I disagree with Trump. You know, whether you views or this or that, his policies, whatever you want to argue about, cool, man. Agree with what you want, feel with what you feel. But as a human being, something's really wrong with this guy. Understanding that he's supposedly entitled the presidency, and him behaving the way he's been, it's just nonsense to me. Let me check my stats before we continue, folks. I'm sitting on 8 assists, 5 rebounds. I need more assists and more rebounds. And my favorite sport is what you're watching right now. By the way, I'm answering questions as I go, for those that hear me rambling. That Trump thing, like I said, man, it's just, we gotta pray for him as a person. You know what I mean? Like, don't get angry. Don't start fighting and calling them names or disrespectful stuff. Just pray for him, man. You know, and try to educate him and show him the way. He's an old dude who doesn't know better, right? So the older you get, the harder it is for you to learn, they say. So it's like, all right, well, we gotta at least pray that he can change. He have to open his mind and his heart. That's all we gotta do. Don't hate. Don't talk crazy. Don't make it an issue. You know. But that's a whole nother thing. So I don't really play other sports too much. I literally played in basketball leagues before when I was younger. That's a bad shot. Changes his mind and gives up the ball. Wow, couldn't even get that shot. But I don't play other sports too much. I like football. It's pretty dope. I don't really play it. I don't watch it enough to say that I'm a big fan. Tennis. I like tennis. I watch it once in a while. I play it more than I watch it. Rafael Nadal and what's her name? I can't even believe I'm forgetting her name. She's like my favorite tennis player. I can't believe I'm having a she's pregnant right now, man. She's having a damn kid. She's not playing right now, and I'm kind of mad she's not playing, but I'm happy for her that she's having a baby and that she's happy in life. The twins, man, damn. You serious right now? Williams sisters. I can't believe I can't forget her name. I know Venus's name right now. I can't say her name. Something with an S. Selena. Wow. It is the Williams sisters. I don't know. I forget how to say her name right now, dude. That is crazy. And trust me, I'm a big fan. I tweet about her all the time. Oh, I love her so much. You're not helping me, dude. On my chat. Come on.
And he hits the first free throw.
Serena Williams. Wow. That took forever. How could I forget her? Literally, less than a month ago, I congratulated her being the greatest tennis player I ever saw in my life. Better than any male I'm talking about greatest tennis player I ever saw.
Nice move into the paint.
Not like
Makes the adjustment and banks it in.
This speed is hard to guard. Speed kills. Beats his man off the dribble and then finishes.
I stepped
right
out
at
of
the
bounds.
basket.
Damn it.
Oh, the ref said he stepped out of bounds. Turnover.
But yeah, Serena Williams. She was the greatest player I ever seen play. You have Rafael Nadal, who's my favorite player, but you can argue with his nemesis, who's won more records,
Seconds now on the 20.
but Roger there.
Against Lee.
But I don't like Roger. I probably don't like Roger just because he's beaten Rafael Nadal more. Or not beating Rafael Nadal, he's won more titles, so he's more popular. But I feel like Rafael Nadal is just better. And he actually beats Roger Federer on their title, so he wins more against
And it comes
Rafael Nadal.
from great confidence. You can tell he belongs on an NBA court. He feels that way. He's got the
Can't believe I
respect of
couldn't
his
say
opponents. He's got the
Serena
respect
Williams.
of his teammates.
Something wrong with me,
And
dog.
as
Something
important,
wrong.
He's got the respect of
Something
the
wrong.
officials.
He dishes it. Falling away, puts it up. Misfires. Strong rebound for another possession.
There it is. I'm getting my triple-double, baby. I need one more rebound and I'm good to go with my triple-double here.
Gets the basket to go.
The finish of your defense always has to be blocking out and securing the defensive rebound. Here they didn't do it. Good pursuit on the offensive board and allowed him to stick it right back in.
Curls in. Fires for three from the corner. Off the mark.
That should have been my rebound, folks. But yeah, so I never really,
From three tonight. Quick decision and gets rid of it.
I never really watch a lot of other sports. You know, I watched the World Series. I watched the,
Around the defender to the rim.
I watched the
If you want to win in this
Super
league,
Bowl.
you create open
But you know,
shots and then
I
you
really
make
just love
open
basketball.
Goes to the
It's no joke how much I love basketball.
And a foul. All right, getting
And
ready
yes,
now
it's
for the
100%
first
true.
of two free
Carmelo
throws.
Anthony is moving to Oklahoma City Thunder. Those are facts. Those are not
Take contact,
opinions.
get the ball up to the basket, even when
And
being fouled.
he's gonna have a great year. He's gonna be
Mark on the first
a
free throw.
superstar. The Oklahoma City Thunder, to me, we're gonna win the championship. I'm gonna say it right now. My heart tells me my favorite player got traded, but
Oh, he misses
for a
the
good
ball.
reason. He's gonna win a championship this year. That's my hope. That's my dreams. All right, let me live. Don't tell me I'm wrong. Don't tell me I'm crazy.
And an easy two.
And
Keep playing the
don't
game.
come at me.
Don't play the
But
score. Attack the basket. Try to whittle
I'm just
this
being
lead
real.
down 2 by 2 and work your way back to a manageable number.
Ball loose again.
fell out of bounds.
It'll be
Wasted.
Bulls
Let me check my stats though. All right, I need 2 assists, 1 rebound for a triple-double, folks. People are hating on me right now because I said Oklahoma gonna win a championship title. Come on, man.
Darren Williams has got himself in one of those three-point zones
Don't
in
hate.
this game.
Sometimes you just get on a roll in this league. No matter if it's good defense or bad defense, and he's making it rain.
So I got substituted.
It's out of that.
Yeah, man, they're gonna be a serious team to play with. You know what gets me crazy? Before I start this game, I'm gonna let the simulation happen. Actually, let me get in the game. So this is the deal. This is what gets me upset. People always make it like these star players can't pass the ball. Like if they don't know how to win, that all they want to do is score. That is not true.
Good adjustment. Can't finish.
Oh man, I got blocked.
I'm seeing more effort.
So I
in the
got 10
last
rebounds.
couple
I got everything I need.
than we saw in the first half. It may not result in a win here tonight, but the effort is something.
Now I gotta
that
work
will
on my
go
assist
forward.
game here. So listen, this is the deal. Alright. Before we get into this and think I'm crazy, this is the deal. Superstar players definitely know what the hell to do when it comes to. Oh man, serious?
Unable to bank that one in.
This defense defensive effort tonight
to win
is
games.
not going to get it
You know,
done.
Westbrook is a winner. I don't care how you put it, Westbrook's a winner. And these guys have been playing in the league for 10 years. They got all their stats. They got their accolades for the most part. Need to win a title now.
That's a hoop and the harm. A dunk
So
and a foul. A three-point
they have
play
the chance
possibility.
right now
That's a big-time
to compete.
play by a big-time player.
Westbrook, besides the Durant and Harden days, this is his first team where he has a chance to win a title. Paul George, same difference. Carmelo Anthony hasn't had a good team in a long time.
Hits the free throw.
Even the teams that he had weren't
Complete.
championship contender type team. They were decent teams that got scrubbed together.
At the rim and gets it to
So
go.
they all have a lot of
Defense
experience.
is the reason why
And they have a
cannot
lot of
compete here tonight.
Key superstar players. So they can do it. You know, you put Melo on the side. I think Melo scored like 60 in the U.S. Olympics a couple years ago because they had him spot up shooting. He was just popping shots all game. Oh, wow, bad shot. I got to stop messing around. Looking at my chat is killing me right now. So
And you can tell
Melo was scoring like 60 points in an Olympic game. He scored like 30 in a quarter or something. I don't remember what the record was. But he did an amazing job. And it was because all he had to do was stand around and just get a pass from all the star players that were in the league. Passing it to him. And he was just killing it. And when they asked him about it, like, oh, damn, how do you do all that? He's like, man, I don't have to do anything, actually. You know, I got star players that just pass me the ball. So it makes life easier. So in the end of the day, Carmelo's going to be the best shooter, best scorer in the game. Is going to be getting easy buckets for the whole season. And then Paul and Westbrook are going to be there putting in the work also. So you're looking at everywhere you go, you're going to have an automatic playmaker who can get their shot creator, that can make their own shot, and then they're gonna have knockdown shooters like Paul George and Carmelo.
Hey, they got lucky right there.
So,
They gave him a
you know,
good
be
look
interesting.
right at the rim, and we're just fortunate that the
So
ball
there's some really good teams, some really good things happening. We'll see.
There's the switch. There's the pick.
Wow, they just. All right, now this team is hurting my feelings here.
Sends it to the corner. Mirotic against Porzingis. We're down to 9 seconds on the shot clock. Looks to the post. Lets it go. Puts it in.
You're not going to see a better possession in the NBA.
Boston is
from
better
both
definitely
sides
than
of the ball.
Cavs right now, but
Good offense,
ooh.
good offense, 1 out.
But you never know. Cavs still got the reputation, so people will, you know, players will want to gravitate over there. So that's where it gets interesting, because when a free agent or somebody that wants to get traded, where they want to go, they're gonna be like, I want to go to the Cavs. You know what I mean? So it's not like they're out of the game.
Here's a steal.
They still have a good chance
Shut down. Forced to make the pass.
to pick up some pieces. But Boston right now is looking good. They have a great bench. They have great starters. And they're going to really compete. In the East specifically, they're going to flourish big time.
And then not resting, not conserving energy, pushing the ball, and getting a transition opportunity.
Fires away for 2. Mirotic misses another one.
This guy's a great shooter. They were on him like Velcro and forced the miss. Good defense.
There's the whistle. Now time for a couple of free throws.
Good post-up move. Attacking the defender by backing him down and drawing the foul.
Well, yeah, so talking about that, you know,
The better players
my point is it'll be interesting. Now, right now, what I'm really worried about is my Knicks. The New York Knicks are legitimately still
and it comes from great confidence. You
Still
can
at the
tell he belongs on
the
an
premise
NBA court. He
of
feels
of
that
life
way.
here.
He's got the respect of his opponents. He's got the respect of his
They
teammates.
have 5
And as
big
is
men.
important,
Well,
he's got the
let's say
respect
4
of
big
the
men if you don't
officials.
count Kristaps Porzingis, the one guy they shouldn't ever trade. 4 big men: Noah, Cantor, O'Quinn, and Willie Gomez. I would keep Willie Gomez. He could be a small forward or a center at any time.
They have done keeping
And
the
then they
ball
just
moving to the
basically,
open man and creating scoring opportunities
there it
for
is,
each
baby.
other.
Knocks
Buckets.
down the shot. Kristaps Porzingis is shooting 58% from the field.
Come on,
There's
court
no
vision right here.
reason to ever give up.
Double
A
team,
slip on a
still got
pick
the
and
ball
roll
in the point
that leads to a basket.
and the
The
buckets.
man defending the screener has got to do a better
So the
job
Knicks
of
can do a
rotation.
trade right now, and they're gonna do it. They have to do a trade. There's no way they're gonna start a season with 5 big men the way they have.
Play defense like that.
They have to get rid of somebody. I'm pretty sure that the trade is gonna happen very soon.
In the paint, Bonafide the rebound. He's the
Within the
leading
next week,
rebounder this season.
before this week, man,
He's
before like
been
Monday,
working hard around the rim here today, using his positioning to get
they'll
the
get
boards.
another trade in, and
Here's another look
then
at
they're
that
gonna
solid finish at the rim.
hopefully have a great young core team the way they have, and they don't trade away their pieces. Then we could see a great battle. You know,
Boy, they need to get
for them
something
to
going here.
get to the point of no return, where that youth builds a future for themselves.
Lopez is looking to post up.
Damn it,
To the
that's
corner,
my fault.
that's a three-pointer. The defense nowhere near him. Knocks down the three-pointer off the quick
So ladies and
release.
gentlemen, I think I just got my triple-double. If we want to double-check it here. Sitting pretty on another triple-double. And if you're saying Noah, then I understand. But Cantor isn't the greatest either, you know. I mean, one or the other, you guys decide what you want to do. But what is up with this dude? I'm sitting on my phone and this dude's texting me. Craziness right now, dude. Calm down, man. Calm down, son. Yeah, that whole Warriors thing is panning out crazy. I don't got no opinion on that. It's clear as day what's wrong with Trump. He has to work out things in his heart and his mind, and there's nothing you can do about that. And the people that voted him in are the people who deserve to be blamed. And you know, you don't put in somebody with mental problems like that in the damn power and then expect something good to come out of it. But a lot is coming out of it because we have to be open and honest, right? And I'm going to stop this game and talk about this for a second. You got to be open and honest. You got to be real. And what I mean by that is racism, any type of discrimination, when you start feeling certain ways about certain things and you're trying to hide it, it's a problem. So America has been trying to hide the racism and the issues, but it's clear as day and it's been out there for a long time. So for Trump to come be elected, it just makes it even more visible. And the problem is that we, instead of trying to fix it and work through it and heal, people start attacking. Oh, you said this about me, you said that about me, or whatever silliness. And I call it silliness because I really don't like when people try to get mad at people who are racist. And the reason I say that is because you're not fixing the problem. You're adding hate to hate. These people got hate. They need to get themselves healed, and you want to attack them. They need healing. They have things wrong with them. And it's up to you to help them grow and get out of that mental illness that they have. It's like depression is a serious issue. You can't treat depression with depression. You're depressed? Oh, me too. Let's drink together. That's what you're doing when you're adding hate to hate. So that's not going to fix the problem. So now Trump is simply being a good mirror, making us look at ourselves and say, damn, we let this nonsense continue and we don't say nothing about it. Everybody turns their cheek, you know. Oh, this dude got the black guy, Trayvon Martin got shot. Oh, we're going to protest for a month. Okay, we're done protesting. Let's get back to our normal jobs and lives, and everything's okay. And that's what happens. And we don't continue to fix them. So this is just being real. And so the whole world needs to come to a place where we're going to fix, heal, grow together, and realize, okay, you're racist, right? You're, whether you hate whites or blacks, whatever type of racism, you hate Asians or Spanish people, guess what? You need a hug. It's okay. You'll be okay. And we'll work through it. Instead, we fight, we argue, we make it a drama, and we're not healing anything. You understand? So that's my problem. So when you're talking about Trump and the whole thing right now, because we're talking basketball, and the whole thing with uninviting the Golden State Warriors, it's very clear. You know, it's an example of what the problem is with society. And now we got to get better, and we got to help Trump realize his errors. And that's it. Let's listen into Cancer real quick.
I don't know where to start. I got a lot of feelings, but I don't know if I can say it all. But I want to start with
This is Cancer. Enes Kanter. After he got traded, he sent in a message to OKC, and here it goes.
you guys. Thanking or shout out to Sam Presti, my teammates, my stats bro Steven Adams, my team members, trainers, the crazy events, the whole state. Because when I lost, I'm picking you guys. When I lost my family and when I lost home, you guys gave me family and you guys gave me home. So that's why Oklahoma and this organization, the whole state, will be always in my heart. And then the second, I want to say, please beat the Warriors for me. Please, I will be watching that game, so please beat the Warriors for me. I just want to say, man, I can't thank you enough to you guys, and you guys did everything for me. And lastly, I want to say, just please take care of the Turkish community here because they love you guys. And that's all I can say right now. I got no hard feelings. I understand it's a business. I'm not mad or anything like that, so don't get me wrong. I love you guys. It's a new adventure for me, New York. So please pray for me. I hope we're going to have an amazing season with New York Knicks. And I'll see you guys soon. Appreciate it.
That was Enes Kanter. I think that's how you say his name, Enes Kanter, giving his love and appreciation for Oklahoma City Thunder. That was dope. I'll give him props. And there it is. It's pretty much official. If these guys are already making videos and announcements, and it's solid. It's pretty sure. I mean, they already announced it somewhat earlier, but not until Monday. Monday is when they can call the league and get it done officially. But at the moment, it's looking like it's done. And I want to say something. I was a Michael Jordan fan since I was a little boy. And I was born in 1982, so I got to see him play a lot of his early years. I started really watching ball at like 1989 as a kid, inspired to want to play ball. I watched ball, and I watched Jordan throughout the 90s dominate. Then I watched Kobe take over the 2000s. And Carmelo came in between Kobe's career, and he became my favorite player. So for him to get traded out of my favorite team, it's a tough day. But I love Melo. He means a lot to me, so I'm happy for him. I wish him the best. That's my statement. I'm gonna stop being a baby right now. But anyway, back to ball. Let's get this. Let's get this. Let me see. Hold on. Let me check my stats here. So I got my triple double. Now I can just do whatever I want. Just getting buckets, folks. Just getting buckets. Dude is popping threes, all of it my grill piece.
Sweet stroke on that shot, Mike. It looked good as soon as it left his hand.
Curling in, the two defenders converge. Mirotic down into the lane. He's blocked. From the corner, a three-pointer, and Courtney Lee with the bucket from downtown.
Hey, this is
Yeah, Melo meant a lot to me as a player, as a person. You know, he's always been 100. A real solid player, but most of all, a real good person. And you know, he's gone, but he's always going to be my favorite player wherever he goes. Having to go to OKC where I like Westbrook a lot, and Paul George, everybody loves Paul George no matter what. So it'll be an interesting year for Melo in the Oklahoma, and it'll be an interesting year for New York. I'm not giving up on my team regardless. That's a rebound for me. Thank you. Ooh, really?
Players in this league are always able to find new and different ways to improve and raise their games. Hey, Jeff, the comeback kid's really taken that to heart, and it shows, especially when you consider his exploits in the Pro-Am games.
And it comes from great confidence. You can tell he belongs.
Yeah, that Melo trade is going to be insane.
Insane. He's got the respect of his opponents. He's got the respect of his teammates. And as important, he's got the respect of the officials.
Chicago's in need of a big-time defensive
Come on, ref.
stop here. And lays it in. That's a nice pass from Darren Williams.
Beautiful dribble drive and layup.
And they bring it up. Need to stop the bleeding here. Wade against Hardaway. Screen set nicely. Oh, terrific feed for two. Gets it to go. Robin Lopez is 7 for 10 from the field.
That's just beautiful offensive basketball. To shoot it and not even notice the guy who's contesting the shot.
Tied up and has to pass. And Tim Hardaway
Getting a lot of assists, baby. But yeah, no, man. You know, talking about that, NBA is going to be an unbelievable this year. A lot of great situations and stories to be told, and then things to look out for this year. Just new players in different teams. Just a lot of stuff that make it really great. Oh, man, they bodying me though. I ain't even gonna lie. My coach gonna bench me any minute now, so I gotta be very careful. Get as much buckets as I can before they call a timeout, or before the clock goes down.
You gotta work your way out of it. You do it by going at the rim.
Oh, they caught me.
Caught him on the reach in. And we have a couple of substitutions here. Levine's using the screen, looking to get
And
free.
there it is. The coach benched me right before I said it. I ain't going back in the game. Oh, he got me back in the game. What a miracle. One more quarter, baby. I can still put up some stats. I'm hoping I get a lot of rebounds. Because the more rebounds I get, the better off my team is.
Pass to the corner.
I mean, better off my stats are
Here's the screen.
overall.
Gomez throws down
Basketball,
the
baby,
When
basketball. I
you're
seen him
playing
cutting.
with a big lead,
Hit him with
your players
pass.
cannot take possessions
Bang.
off. And I like the example that this unit is showing. Forcing a turnover and then not resting, not conserving energy, pushing the ball and getting a transition opportunity.
I got it.
Off balance, still fires
Ooh,
away.
Wade.
And Dwayne Wade with a nice look, sinks it. And now he moves around the defender to the rim. It's good. He's shooting 62% from the field tonight.
Hey, this is why this has turned into a blowout. Poor perimeter defense, get broken down off the dribble, no help, no basket protection, no chance of winning.
Bonafide, here comes the help
Awesome.
defense. Throws it down hard.
This simply is not winning basketball. If you won't run back and commit to running back and getting your defense set, then you have no chance of winning in the NBA.
Misses at the rim.
Great
No
contested
doubt,
that
no
shot.
doubt. Shout out to you,
He
man.
had
We
the
out
shot
here
time
just balling up,
to challenge
saucing up
and force
the
the miss.
computer. Nothing special.
And here's the replay with
I'm finally in
another
the
look at that
playoffs,
great
actually.
finish at the
This is
rim.
my game 3. If I win this, I'm going to the second round. And I'm going to be battling it out with the next team who makes it.
Lopez is looking to do damage in the paint.
Oh, look at this guy.
Left-handed.
But yeah, so that's what's happening. I've been talking all day about
from the free throw line. We've got that replay for you right
the
now.
Excellent
scenario
offensive play right there.
that just happened,
Contact,
which is
finish, just
New
didn't
York
get it to
Knicks
drop for the three-point
traded
play
Carmelo
opportunity.
Anthony to Oklahoma City Thunder.
Connects on the first free throw.
And it's looking really good. And I'm excited.
Goes 2 for 2 at the line. Inside. Wade the rebound. A pretty entry
I got it.
pass. Nice adjustment.
So I'm excited for both the New York Knicks, even though I'm sad that Carmelo left because he's my favorite player. But I'm excited
Great effort to
for
take
Melo
that
because
charge, but just a
he
count late.
deserves
Didn't
to
have
win.
his
He
feet
deserves to
set.
be on another new team, get a fresh start. As far as my Knicks, I'm a New York Knicks fan, so of course I want them to win. But right now they just got a young team, and hopefully they can just build off that young team and start making some noise
Goes 1 for 2.
with their youth.
Pass to the corner.
Oh,
Ball comes loose.
bad
The pass
pass.
is deflected, and they get
So hopefully they can do
the
something really special with their youth. There's no guarantees. Oh, he's blocked.
Terrific feed. Shot thrown right
I
back
knew
in.
it.
Sloppy ball handling.
Don't you
He
test
has
me,
just
boy.
been a defensive force
that.
in this game. Shot block after shot block after shot.
But yeah. So we'll see what's that. We'll see what happens. I got blessed to have my favorite player on my favorite team. That's a rarity. You know, my favorite player used to be Michael Jordan, but my team always is New York Knicks. So Carmelo to come all the way to
Great bounce back second half as far as shot blocking is concerned.
New York was a
Didn't get
blessing.
off
Of course,
to a
he's
great
from New
start,
York.
but here in the
He's
second half has
New
protected
York, and
his
that's the
rim
reason why I liked
with
him. He was
ferocity.
in Syracuse doing his thing, and you know, just blossomed into a great player. Wow, wow. I'm getting disrespected right now. I need to stop talking and looking at the chat and start playing ball here. Only 2 minutes left. We're gonna win either way, but
Excellent ball movement
it would be
around the
nice
perimeter.
to not go out getting blocked.
A ferocious slam.
It looks simple, but it's hard to execute. Nothing more beautiful than a pick and roll when executed properly. Come off the screen, pass to the roll man.
And one, ref.
Roll man
And one.
catches, an easy finish at
Getting
the rim.
slammed around, man. Good job by the team, man.
They continue to
They're doing
slice
good.
up this defense.
They're trying to
by
come
getting
back
the
or
ball to the
something?
rim.
What is happening right now?
Unfortunately, on that one, it didn't
We
work.
just got sauced up for two minutes. No more looking at the chat for the next couple plays. These guys are playing serious ball.
Great look from deep in the corner. Won't go for three.
Something's wrong with me right now.
It's
I'm
not
just
often
dangling all over this
where
court.
you see both
This dude
teams
about to hit a
struggling
three.
to make threes like we're seeing here today.
All right, calm it down.
We've got
Take a
both
break.
teams are trying to shoot through it, and quite frankly, right now,
Set
it's
a pick and
difficult
roll.
to watch.
Make it work.
Oh, excellent screen.
And one ref.
To the rim. Good work to draw the foul. Robin Lopez picks up his second foul of the night. And it's on to the line for a couple of free throws.
I love the way the NBA player can contort his body.
Nah, I'm all set with the
take
alley-oops, man. I don't really do them
and
too much. I
get
just
the
kind of
ball
stick
up
to
the basket,
making
even when
plays
being fouled.
on my own. But yeah, man. So that's the thing. So the Knicks have a young team that can do some really good moves. They're gonna have to make one more trade, in my
And gets
opinion,
both points from the line.
to actually, you know, have a stable team. And from there they can build. Then before all that, I mean, when it comes to Oklahoma, they just got to get a couple benches pieces that can really push them over the edge, as they have a great team so far
It's a loose ball.
and a couple of good pieces, but they don't have enough to be like, wow, they're gonna be the best contenders in the NBA.
To the rim. And Robin Lopez
Damn, I'm
with
getting
his
handled by
ninth
this team
rebound.
right now. That's the ball.
He curls. Wade banks it in for two.
Shout out to Dwayne
That's an
Wade.
11
Hurting
to 2
feelings
run
right now.
for the Bulls. To Bonafide. Oh, he stepped out of bounds.
Come on. I'm having a bad game. I'm having a great game, but I'm having a bad ending of the game. And I think it's all about checking out
1
my
minute
chat
remains
more
here
than
in
I'm
the
doing the
fourth.
game.
The Knicks up by
I gotta
27.
do a better job staying focused. Free shot for this guy.
Now fires. It's good. That'll be a two-pointer.
That's phantom defense right there. No one near him. Wide open two-point J.
Oh, quick adjustment. Now he gives it up. The two defenders swarm.
And one ref.
Off the fake, the layup. Nice move adjusting for two.
That's just a nice layup right there.
Seconds remaining on the 24. Defense has to switch. Curls in. Oh, he swats it. Goes to the goal and gets it to go.
Hey, that's one you just have to tip your hat to the shooter. Knocked in a contested two-point shot.
Straight to the rack.
Hands it down.
Hey, when you isolate, you shouldn't get all the way to the rim to finish. Here, he just blows by his defender. No help, and just absolutely rises above everybody else. And
Good game, baby. Good game.
Above the rim.
Check out my stats, and then you tell me if it was a good or bad game. I had a good game, even though I ended it a little rough around the edges. But that happened.
For Jeff Van Gundy and our entire EA Sports crew, this is Mike Breen saying good night.
So how do we define Carmelo Anthony's career? First of all, his career in the Nuggets were pretty awesome. But let's get into some of his accomplishments as a Knicks fan as we watch these highlights and stuff. How many people remember the trade? That was the most defining moments was in February 22nd. I remember that.
And I'm sure
I believe
there are no words
February.
that can make them feel better right now. Making the playoffs can be
Yeah.
considered a success, but that's probably not what they want to hear right now. Here are the guys
And
who put up the
that was
most
cool,
points
but
for the Chicago Bulls.
I think when Melo was best was in 2012 to 2013 season, where he was the MVP candidate, and to me, he was the MVP. Of course, you can't beat out LeBron James when, you know, the bullcrap of refs and everybody in the world letting him do anything he want. But
When you see these highlights,
Carmelo
it's
carried the
easy to
New
see
York
how this
Knicks
guy
to
is
have
capable.
the best
His impact on the game
of the
wasn't lost
best
on anyone.
season
And
in
now,
16
of course,
years
the
as the
stats.
winning record for the Knicks on that year.
Who was cold?
And then
This isn't the segment you want to be in.
also Melo
Of course.
in
But even the
2014,
best
Melo
players
broke
find
the
their
record
way into this
in the
part of
New York
show.
Stadium arena and scored 62 points,
Time now for the top plays of the
the
game.
most points scored in Madison Square Garden, and that beats out Jordan and Kobe, who scored big time. So those are some of his memorable moments in the NBA. I mean, in the Knicks team that I can remember. Of course, there's a lot of little
And here it
things,
is,
but
the playoff bracket.
those things were really awesome.
This has
for
been
me.
a presentation of ESPN on EA Sports. Until next
And
time,
now
I'm Jalen Rose, signing off.
we're gonna give a big shout out to New York for letting me live my dream and watch my favorite player and on my favorite team. The rarity, the clarity. Let me see, what did I unlock over here? Almost unlocked. Quick recovery. I don't know what that does, but might be off the ball shooting or something. Let's see. We will see. It'll be dope. Damn, my dudes on my chat hate Melo. I ain't mad at you. You can hate all you want. He's one of the greatest scorers in the NBA. And anybody in the NBA right now can tell you he is the hardest person they can guard. Kobe Bryant said it. LeBron James said it. You know, Bowen said it, who's one of the defenders. Tony Allen said it. You know, these guys all saying Carmelo Anthony was the hardest player that they ever had to guard. That tells you something. Hate him or love him. If the best players and the best defenders should tell you he's the toughest guard, this person to guard, that tells you how great of a scorer he is and how much of a problem he is. So, I mean, if you want to argue about him getting old, so is everybody else. Ain't a player that isn't getting old. I'm getting old right now while we talking. You dig? So, I ain't mad at you. Alright, let's check out the standings here. It's looking like I'm going to be facing the Cavaliers on the second round. That's going to be a bad hit. But it is what it is. I'm going to have to beat out the Cavs, man. This is a good matchup. New York versus Cavs. I'm going to be guarding LeBron James this whole season. This whole series, actually. Which should be fun. And then, looks like Philly might take the game. I mean, Philly dominated Charlotte. So we'll see what happens on that front. But at the moment, Golden State, Minnesota Timberwolves are in the playoffs. Look at that. Imagine if this is what the real NBA is like. But understand that this is a creative player thing. So there's a lot of different pieces moving around and trades that happen and stuff like that. So this isn't the official NBA simulation of how the playoffs would end up. This is my creative player simulation. Alright, check it out. Check it out right there, y'all. What the score I'm averaging. It's highlighted on the bottom right. 12 rebounds a game, 15 assists a game, and 42 points a game. Of course, I only played one round, but that's pretty dope for a playoff stats. Name somebody better. Who could do it better? sitting here watching Twitter right now. Homeboys is talking trash on my chat. Also, you wouldn't be doing all that if I was guarding you, homie. Listen, man, you ain't got nothing on me. Can't wait to hear Melo's farewell to New York. I'm gonna cry. Yes, I'm a baby. And I'm pretty sure he's gonna send out a deep letter, and he's not gonna talk because it's an emotional thing for Carmelo. He's like me. He's a New Yorker. We have the pride. We love New York, and everything he's been through this past year has been crazy. But anyway, let's get into this game real quick. Check out what the coach got to say. Congrats, man. Not very often do you see a rookie help lead a team to the first round series win. Thanks, coach. Just trying to do my best out there. I've been impressed with your leadership on the floor. Keep your eye out for open players on the perimeter in the next series, okay? They're going to try to shut you down. You got it, coach. Let's keep up the good work. What are your goals for the first game of the conference semis? I need to be on fire, going to go big and send a message. Double. I can get 4 steals, or I can get 4 3-pointers. I'm gonna go with the double here. It's pretty easy to do, as you can tell. Sounds good. Keep it all in mind to stay focused. Will do, though. See you later. Bye, Craig. There it is. My next series is going to be happening. And unfortunately, I'm going to close out the stream for a little while. Take a quick break. And come back maybe later for another game. I'm super hyped right now. I'm in the semifinals. Semi-conference. Going into the conference. Probably going to face the Warriors or San Antonio Spurs. Who knows? Should be interesting. Great career here that I've been having. Blessed to be able to do that. And we're done for now. Let's check my overall hype level here. I'm gonna go to my stats. .36 overall in the whole world, leading in things, and I could just play for one day, and I promise I'll be up in the top 10 already. So I'm still in the fight, y'all. That's dope. Actually, let me check who is in the fight right now. It's not easy to stay in these. These people don't work, don't go to school, don't do nothing. All they do is play the damn game. So as you can see, some of these guys are force. They're in the millions right now with their numbers. And then there's the lower guys who play often, but you know, I took like 3 days off. And I'm still in the fight, but that's a whole nother conversation to have to talk about. But I appreciate everybody that comes out to the stream, enjoys this. I just did my first official playoff round. Gonna be doing in the second one very soon. Playing NBA Live 2018 and enjoying to the max. So thank you, and I'll see you soon. Peace and one love.